Keeler Show Scrabble board, but you will hear our audio. Hopefully, Smitty, I'll have you monitor that because I do not know what's going on with our YouTube computer. Mello Testa, our guest host, good morning. When you go away, things seem to sometimes crash and burn. So I don't know what's going on with that, but hopefully it will be resolved. And I'll have you monitor that, Smitty, to see if we're on YouTube, at least the audio. So good morning, all. It is Monday, August 5th, and we are here. We are back. One part of us, anyway. Bill is still on vacation, but I am very honored and humbled to have the great Mello Testa in with us this morning to guest host.
I don't know about that.
We have been we've been talking, you and I, about you coming in and doing a guest host role for quite some time.
I'm not sure what I'm doing here today.
You're here to kind of make sure that I kind of steer the ship in the right direction. So
okay, we'll try.
Well, we share a lot of common interests.
We do.
You and I. So I figured
over
if there's
the years,
anybody that I want sitting next to me and with Smitty, it's you. So thank you very much.
Thanks for inviting me, and let's see what happens.
I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great because we do share a lot of the same interests. The first thing we'll talk about, and Smitty, we bring you into this too, is a little bit of a turnaround in a positive direction. I'm still very nervous and critical of our Yankees, but lately they've shown signs of real progress. I think while they could have had a lot more success prior to the trade deadline as far as pitching goes, they're off to a good start post All-Star break.
Well, I mean, you take away the start that they had, and they're nowhere in the picture.
Exactly.
I mean, and they just surprised everyone. Look, obviously everyone knows I'm a big fan, but when they play terrible, I don't watch it. I can't.
It's hard to watch. It's frustrating.
It's very hard to watch, and my Yankee girl doesn't even appear anymore.
So Mello also has a great social media presence, and it's not easy to have a good social media presence, but you have fun on it. You have a lot of followers that really look forward to certain things, like your Yankees girl.
I mean, I run into people all the time, and I see what you do. I see what you do with your family, and the things you do in your life, and really thank you for sharing. And that's the way I want it. I want people to look at me that way. There was a time when I was crazy with some political things, and you know what? It's just not worth it. I mean, either way, it causes all kinds of problems with friends and family, because people, if they're dug in on one way or the other, you're only going to make it worse. So I stay away from that as much as I can. Anyway.
I saw a commercial, speaking of the Yankees, after the game. I was watching the post-game show, and they had a commercial about that. It's to the point where now they're having PSAs about what you follow and make sure that you look at and observe and listen to opposing viewpoints so that you don't, stay in an echo chamber.
Listen, but there's some that will not, regardless, and those are the ones that are dangerous, and in my opinion.
Yeah, we get to a point where, people are set in their ways and they won't hear anything else.
They're consumed with it. I have friends that are, on Facebook, and I look for all the good things, of course, and they look for the good things that I put on. But the only things that they put on are of a political nature, one side or the other. And that's all they talk about. Their lives are they're
Where do they have the time? Where do they find the time? It's like you said, it's interesting.
It's depressing to see that. And I challenge some of them off, not publicly. And why do you do that?
I mean, they call it the keyboard warriors, where they're going back and forth, and you see, like, throughout the day, they're getting involved with strangers or people that comment on this, and they don't even know the other person, and they're getting into an argument with them.
They get into all these things, and like I said, one side or the other, it's just too much right now. So I look for the good things, and that's why I put out what I put out, and I get a lot of positive response from it on social media and in private when I see people on the street.
And one thing we'll get into as well is you always share very interesting stories about your Uber exploits.
Oh, those are never ending. I mean, they're just.
Do you do a lot more the airport shuttling now, or do you also do?
Pretty much, yeah. But while I do one of those runs, then I'll turn the app on and I'll see what's out there. And if there's activity, I'll stay driving. If not, then I don't do the everyday thing anymore. I was doing, when I started doing this 7 years ago, 60 rides during the week and then another 30 or 40 on a weekend. And that's what I was working full time with the county. I would go out at 8 o'clock at night, work till 11:30. But there'd be nights I'm out there till 2 in the morning.
Wow.
And because it depends on where it takes me. If it takes me to Syracuse or whatever, I may stay there and make my runs out there. Or just hang around the area. But the area's not the same anymore. The rides are different. And I never really needed to do it. I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that want, then you're probably going to shy away from it. So
I'd imagine, too, it's an interesting look into the psychology of people. And
every ride is
you learn lessons and get to meet interesting people.
Yeah, you don't know what to expect. I mean, you never know what's going to get in the car, good or not so good. And I've had my share of rides that I wish I didn't have. But then again, I'm close to 14,000 regular Uber rides, let alone all my private rides. And it's just... It is amazing. I mean, what's out there. And
I know a couple times you've even I don't drink anymore, but a couple of times you helped me get home.
Yeah,
I was always responsible.
And that's I have so many friends out there, and it's all by accident, all by coincidence or whatever. It's just you get a call and you don't know who's on the other. Not a call, but you get a ping, and you go pick them up and. They happen to be a friend or family member. I mean, if it happened to, I picked up my daughter, look for an Uber, boom, and guess who her driver is? I mean, it's just it's not planned. It's just it's fun.
I spoke to another good friend of the both of ours, who is down in Florida now.
Yeah, my man.
And he said actually, interestingly enough, that it was starting to be, and maybe you can relate to this a little. There's some wear and tear that can be involved with Uber, with your brakes and things like that.
I knew that going in. I mean, I'm changing oil once every 5 weeks. And there was a time when I was doing 800-900 miles a week.
Wow.
All right, I'm nowhere near that now. But you're doing brakes once a year. There's a lot of things on your car. But if you have the right apps and you have the right deductions going on, it's all covered. It all comes out in the wash. I mean, it's really if you're set up well, and I've helped so many other people get involved in this, and it's turned into a pretty lucrative thing for them. For me, the money was nice. It really was. I'm not going to say it wasn't, but I did it more for I needed something else to do. I can't sit still.
No, I know. I know. And
I got more jobs than the fugitives.
I know. The fact that people would say, "Oh, Mello's retired." Well, not really.
No, I retired from government service, and I'm proud of that time. But I just can't sit still. I always got something going on.
We have one of your probably most notable Uber passengers on the line right now, and he wants to share his experience. Good morning, sir. Who's this?
Well, hello, Andrew, Mello, and Davey.
Good morning. So, Stefan, you actually had Mello as your Uber driver before.
Yes, I have. And also, I just saw Mello on Friday down at the Rodeo.
Yes, we were.
At the yard.
I have that on my list of things to get into with Mello. It was a big weekend, well attended. You were at the rodeo, Stefan?
Yes, he was.
Yes, I was Friday night.
Stefan, I think you could probably be maybe like the rodeo clown, or you could be somebody that could get involved in the rodeo. You might have that rodeo lifestyle at some point.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was a good night out.
I got to tell you, Rob and his team at the Adirondack Bank Center, Garden Entertainment, they always find new ways to kind of keep the odd busy and keep their things to do.
You would have never guessed that something like this would be so
season.
Successful. I mean, it was sold out both nights. It was an amazing crowd. No issues, no trouble. Yeah, we had our share of people that they don't know any better. They're carrying a pocket knife, and we had a lot of people that had to go all the way back to their cars to bring it back. We do have, that's for everyone's protection. They don't know. They never either been to the auditorium before, or they don't
Well, they go to a rodeo. They go to an outdoor venue where that's probably acceptable.
Yeah, right. It is. It's just what they carry, and we have to protect everyone. And other than that, getting the people in there was very, very smooth. And once they were in their seats, I took a walk around, and I like to do that on different events. And I was amazed. I mean, there wasn't a seat available. And
that's awesome.
There was no one wandering the halls like they would do at a hockey game. They were in their seats and they were watching these events, and they were into it. And that's why I was successful a couple years ago, and we're going to keep on bringing it back.
Yeah, I think it definitely is something that is a fan favorite for the area. And Stefan, the one thing I have to ask you is, while you were in the and Mello's going to confirm it. He's going to say if you're lying or not. Were you well behaved in your Uber?
Yes, I was. Yes. We had a good talk.
Yes, we did.
And we talked about politics and things like that.
Yes, we did.
Well, that's good, because, Stefan, I know you're always very independent-minded. You take everything one issue at a time, and so that's a healthy mentality to have.
I mean, you really take the time to listen to Stefan, and he's educated. He knows what's going on around here, and I wish more people were like that.
Well, there you go, Stefan. That's quite the endorsement from our man Mello Testa. It's good to hear from you this morning, and maybe a little bit later on this week you might be able to stop in and help us out.
Okay, thank you, Andrew.
If you need a ride, call me.
There you go. All right, Stefan, you have a wonderful day, bud. Thank you.
Stay cool today.
Oh, yeah, it'll be a warm one. May have some thunderstorms, so beware of that as well. Okay? See you later, Stefan.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye-bye. All right, so there goes Stefan. And I want to let you know that we do have a number of guests that we will speak to this morning. Some we may speak to, but definitely on the schedule. We're going to be talking to Ryan Schmelz in just a few minutes. Hard to believe, but today marks exactly 3 months until the election. Wow.
Wow.
I wish it would get here. I just, I don't want to rush the rest of the warm weather, but I don't want to be rooting for November, but
the worst part of it is nowhere even here yet. So
no, it's not even anywhere near close. So 1,000 things are going to happen.
Right.
There's no question. Anybody who listens to the show, and you talk about social media. The big reason I like to stay out of politics on it is my business, my real estate business. But people who listen to the show know kind of where I stand on things. But and I'm not always an all the time defender. I think Trump had a rough moment at the conference for African American journalists.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
A lot of unforced errors, and it's moments like that where he should know, since he's been doing this, that the media will.
He should know better,
pounce on him. So
that's him, and I feel the same way.
Sometimes you just want to shake him and say, "What are you doing, man?"
No, but that's him. So
yeah.
I mean, it's not going to change, and that's why he doesn't get the full support of that party.
Yeah.
But they did come around, and basically had no choice this time, and he was it. He was going to be it, and. There's an opportunity to get the White House back and, take control of the Senate and Congress. That's what they want. That's what either party wants. And that's what they're fighting about. I mean, this country's so torn apart, right down the middle. And it's just too bad. I'll say this here, the extreme right and the extreme left, that's your problem.
Oh, 100%. Because if you think about 90%, 85 to 90% of the country, we're all on the same page. We all want the same things,
If
right?
it wasn't for those extremes, our world would be a better place.
Yeah. Because I'm really starting to think that, and again, this is not a tin hat type situation. I really think that not even necessarily like maybe a deep state, which, some people might believe that exists. But I think there are global forces that big money people that want the world a certain way.
Yeah, there's things going on, have been going on for as far back as in time.
Yeah,
there are certain people, and not necessarily just the media, but certain people that they control everything, and it's becoming more and more apparent.
Yeah, there's a kind of peek behind the curtain with certain things.
They're not peeking anymore. They're exposing themselves.
Out. Yeah. So we will talk to Ryan Schmelz of Fox News Radio coming up. He will give us that 3-month update. It kind of talk to us about where Trump is so far, where Vice President Kamala Harris is.
Ask him about the Baltimore Orioles.
Oh, we'll get into that. Yeah, we will talk about that as well.
I love Camden Yards.
Yeah, Ashley Massey is an MBA and top producing real estate agent. Her and I will have a lot to talk about as defying norms, millennials are leading the charge in solo home purchases, that being that on their own without a significant other, millennials are starting to kind of surpass everybody with single home buyers. Also, later on in the program, Oneida County Sheriff Rob Mayshiel. It has been a crazy few months with motor vehicle accidents, and now in this month alone, or the month of July into August, 2 major accidents involving Amish buggies. What's the answer to that? What do people have to do to prevent that? We'll get into him with that and many more topics with him. And Presley Baker is a former National Defense Fellow at the Reagan Institute. What did VP Harris know about Biden's cognitive decline, and when did she know it? That and much more coming up on a Monday edition of First News with Keeler in the Morning. Mello Testa, my guest host. Smitty is here as well on WIBX.
This is Bill Cole from Gates Cole Insurance. Finding insurance coverage can be an overwhelming undertaking. As your local independent insurance company, we work hard for you to get the best coverage.
My name's Timothy Dean. I'm from Taberg, New York. We had a house fire. Got a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning. My house was fully involved. That morning at 6 o'clock, I called. Leslie was my agent, and within a matter of 20 minutes, the agent had called me, and within a matter of 2 hours, the agent was on scene, assisting me with whatever I needed, and Gates Cole went above and beyond. I would highly recommend Gates Cole Insurance to anyone for the customer service that they have provided for me during not only my fire, but also for all my business needs.
This is Tom Cole. For insurance for your home, auto, business, and just about everything else, trust your local independent insurance agency. Gates Cole Insurance. We'll take care of you.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
If you're looking for flooring, boy, do I have the perfect place for you. This is Bill Keeler, and I highly recommend Sarah's Flooring Outlet, the area's leading flooring store. They have the absolute largest inventory in Central New York, and it's a brand new store at the Route 49 Plaza in Marcy. And if you're looking for Pergo Extreme, they have a price guarantee anywhere in the area within a 60-mile radius of their store. It's a pretty awesome deal, and you know you're going to get the best deal at Inserras. Log on to their website at InserrasFlooringOutlet.com and sign up to save $50 off your next purchase of $500 or more. You can shop online or in the store. You will not find a better selection than Inserras Flooring Outlet. See why more people buy from the big store. Its selection, its price, and it's a 6-month interest-free financing. Log on to the website, InserrasFlooringOutlet.com, and see for yourself, or visit their store. Inserras Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
Feeling congested? At Navage, we know life is better when you can breathe freely. Congestion shouldn't ruin your summer. That's why people just like you turn to Navage, a revolutionary and easy way to help clear nasal passages. Using gentle suction, Navage removes allergens, dust, and mucus in just 30 seconds. It's fast, gentle, and incredibly effective. Try Navage and get on your way to a better day. Get Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, Sam's Club, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or online at Navage.com. Navage. Breathe better, fast.
This is Keeler in the Morning, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Good morning. First News Keeler in the Morning on WIBX. Bill is on vacation, and well-deserved, of course. He will be here later in the week. Mello Testa in this morning to guest host for me, and Smitty here as always. Smitty's going to be away, too. He's going to be enjoying a little bit of vacation time coming up this week. So
I'm only here today and tomorrow, and then I'm gone.
Where are you off to?
I'm going to go to Lake George for a few days.
Nice.
Beautiful there.
Until
Beautiful.
Saturday.
Very beautiful. All right. Well, without further adu, we do want to get to our man Ryan Schmelz. Even though he is a Baltimore Orioles fan, we will allow him on the program this morning. Ryan, we're kind of neck and neck, the Yankees and Orioles. Both kind of sharing similar struggles in the month of July.
Yeah, it was a little bit rough at times, but I think the Orioles just won a series with the Guardians, which I don't know how we found time to play when SummerSlam was in Cleveland this weekend, but
That's
we made
right.
it work. So we'll see.
Smitty, you were very excited about that, right?
Yeah, it was at Paul Brown Stadium.
Yeah. Wow.
They had
Okay.
over 60,000 people.
I don't think they call it Paul Brown Stadium anymore. But
Oh yeah, but it's always Paul Brown Stadium to me. It's
I know.
Cleveland Stadium.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly. And I was just very happy for the city to be able to pull it off. I called Cleveland home for 3 years before I moved to D.C., so it's kind of a weird relationship because I am a Ravens fan, and they don't really like the Ravens too much up there. But
No, they do not.
Cleveland was such a great city, so yeah.
Well, interestingly enough, you won the series against the Guardians, but I was very surprised, especially despite the efforts of Gleyber Torres and Clay Holmes, that we were able to sweep the Phillies. Wow, I mean that's just something.
Well done. I'm just really worried what team's going to be the one that misses out on the playoffs because they get swept by the White Sox at some point. So that's going to be the big laughing moment.
Oh my gosh! Everybody's comparing them to the Detroit Pistons of the NBA.
Yeah.
It's really tough. I was talking with my future brother-in-law last night as we were watching the game. He said it is very hard to lose that much in baseball.
Yeah.
And they're losing a lot. Anyway, so
I don't even think the Orioles went on a skid like that when they were in their rebuild.
No, and as much as we'd like to continue to talk about baseball, we always enjoy talking sports with you, Ryan Schmelz. We have to talk about the fact that even though it feels like it's a long time away, it's really not. The 3-month mark to Election Day.
Yeah, certainly. And we do not know who Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate is going to be. Surely I think we will find that out either today or tomorrow. But there's a short list of contenders that are still alive. You have Governor Shapiro from Pennsylvania, Mark Kelly from Arizona, Tim Walz from Minnesota, and then also Andy Beshear from Kentucky. So I think that's the short list. There's a couple other ones that are still being considered, but right now I think that those 4 are kind of getting the most buzz, with recently Kelly and Shapiro getting a lot of talk.
One of the interesting things is over the weekend there was the leak that wasn't the leak, and then they said that it was actually just we are hoping for Governor Shapiro to be the VP pick.
The announcement's in Philadelphia tomorrow, so
yeah, and they had the commercial come out.
Do not read too much into that announcement being in Philadelphia, because someone actually put out a stat where they showed where the first rally took place with the first time the running mate was announced, and it's hardly ever happened in that person's home state. So I wouldn't read too much into that. Also, keep in mind that the campaign headquarters are in Wilmington. So it makes sense that if you're going to start a nationwide battleground state tour, you fly them into Wilmington, you have a meeting at the headquarters with the staffs for each side, and then you just travel right to Philadelphia, have your first rally in the big battleground state before you hit all the other ones after that. So I would not read too much into Philadelphia being that location.
Mello, do you have any questions for Ryan?
No, I really don't. I'm just going to sit back and wait for the announcement, and you know what? See what happens.
Yeah, it will be what it will be. And I have to tell you, we were talking a little bit earlier about the unforced errors that came out of the African American Journalist Conference. That you got to give Trump credit. He went into maybe not the friendliest territory. And I think unforced errors is what may end up being his Achilles heel. Before that event.
Especially what he did this weekend, where he went to Georgia, and after a convention where unity was the big, calling card for the Republican Party, he proceeded to bash Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia, a very popular governor of Georgia, I must add, over and over again. So there could be an opportunity here for Harris to really utilize this VP announcement and maybe make some more ground on. She's already made up a lot of ground compared to where Biden was just a couple months ago. But we'll see what she's able to do in terms of capitalizing on some of this lack of unity that Trump's been pushing lately.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to see, after that debate and before the Biden dropping out of the race, it seemed like,
up and up and up.
It seemed like it was a no-brainer, and then, things have changed. When Vegas is involved and they're leaning towards Harris now, it's got to make Republicans a little nervous.
Yeah, certainly, yes. And we'll see where the race goes from here. But this is definitely a lot different looking race than it was maybe a couple weeks ago. Certainly the changing of the guard within the Democratic Party has been very helpful.
Yeah, well, one thing is for sure, I think there's a lot of people that are really looking forward to November 5th coming and going.
Not me. I'm having fun with this.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you are. And you get to cover it on a daily basis. And when you're not watching the Orioles and the battle between the Yankees and the Orioles in the AL East, you're watching the presidential race.
Exactly. Sports and politics, nothing better than that.
Can't beat it. And football season is underway. We had the Hall of Fame game, what was it, Thursday night? What was the Hall of Fame game? Thursday night last week, and preseason is here, which means the NFL season's right around the corner.
They still play football.
They do. And my Green Bay Packers are looking pretty good this year.
Okay.
So, all right, Ryan. Well, hopefully your Ravens will do well as well, and unless they're playing the Packers, I'll pull for them for you. How's that?
There we go. And we'll do a preseason preview sometime soon.
Sounds good. Always a pleasure. Ryan Schmelz, Fox News Radio. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Hey, you too. See ya.
All right, and before we break quick, we've got our other big Yankee fan on the program. Mike and Skyler is on the line. Mike, good morning. What do you got?
Hey, good morning. Welcome back from vacation. You guys go on vacation, all of a sudden they're turning things around. They swept Philadelphia.
I know.
Remember, they had the best record in all of baseball before he swept them. And I was fortunate to be at the game yesterday. So that's 3 for 3. I was actually at the game, and these tickets were free. Guess how I did that?
How's that?
We called. We were asking about season tickets next year. Wanted to just see what the pricing programs were.
Yeah, because they do packages where you don't have to do the whole season. Yeah. You can do like 8 games Saturdays. Or 10 game sets or something like that. Yeah.
So we were asking about it, and then it's okay. Well, okay, we'll think about it. Then they called back and they said, well, if you want, we'll give you 2 tickets to go to a game. And then we could see the suite. You go stay in there and everything. So the original one was supposed to be during the World Series when they were playing Tampa. So we didn't go to that one, and they would have lost. They lost that day. So I'm glad we didn't go to that one. And then,
we lost Mike and Skyler. He must have just disconnected. Well, all right. He was at the game yesterday. That was an interesting game to have been at because it went. I think Mike is coming right back here. Hold on, Mike. Is that you?
I'm sorry. Yes, it's me. I'm sorry.
All right, we lost you. Go ahead.
Okay, so then they said, well, you can go this weekend. So we went last night, and then we got to go in the suite. We were going to the suites to Yankee Stadium. Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't.
In the suite? No. So you go in there, and you get to go around. You see all these other pictures. I took a ton of pictures, and then you go in the suite area. Free food, free drinks, free everything while you're there.
Yeah.
And then we got to see that game. And I'll tell you, and then when the rain delay happened, here's another thing. The rain delay happens, and then they're playing "Don't Stop Believing" from Journey, and you realize tomorrow today, actually it was tomorrow, yesterday, but we're gonna be at Fenway Park today watching Journey. It's "Don't Stop Believing."
Get around.
Wow.
Yeah,
Jeez, Mike,
day,
you're the traveling man. Well, I got to tell you, we can't take too much more time, but I will say this.
Okay.
Yes. Thank goodness that rain delay came to get Clay Holmes out of the game because he is still a disaster.
A little shaky.
I know. But Chisholm, I think that Chisholm is a great.
It's a great pickup.
I'm going to see
that was a spark.
The dynamic changing a little bit. Yeah. And I got to see him still third. So that was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was a huge moment of the game. So, Mike and Skyler, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and enjoy Journey tonight.
Yep, thank you. You too. Def Leppard and Heart, too.
Oh, all right. Well, that's a good lineup there. All right, we do have to break. Thank you, Mike. We'll break quickly and wrap up the 6 o'clock hour here on First News with Keeler in the Morning, next on WIBX.
You want to recycle, but you're not sure what's recyclable, what goes in your weekly recycling bin, or what goes in the trash. Wheelock Disposal Service, your recycling experts, wants to give you some helpful tips in determining what waste goes where. Doing some remodeling or work in construction? If you have a small or large project, it's best to get a roll-off for your discarded material. This way you don't have to separate the contents. For more information, go to wheelockdisposal.com, your recycling experts.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how happy and healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Introducing Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend, a premium freeze-dried raw dog food.
I have been feeding them Dr. Marty's freeze-dried raw formula for years. And this food is a big part of why their joints are more flexible, their teeth are cleaner, and their coats shinier, and why they seem more youthful and playful.
And dog parents across the U.S. are loving it.
My dog Hazel is a 10-and-a-half-year-old golden retriever, and ever since I've been feeding her Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend food, she is like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
We're so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee. And for a limited time, save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of Cod Krispies. They're wild-caught, ultra-crunchy cod skin treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511 today. All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
10.
Nice work.
Thanks. Taking Nugenix Total T makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster with TV ads with Frank Thomas, right?
Yes.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yes. Nugenix is a great way to feel stronger with more energy and endurance. And as Frank says, you'll like it too.
Text RADIO to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix. Text RADIO to 321-321. That's radio to 321-321.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
First News Keeler in the Morning on a Monday. It is good to be back. I'll tell you, for a week straight, plus the weekend, I did not have to wake up prior to 10 o'clock. I slept in. Even when I was down in Florida, I slept in. It's tough when you're down there. You want to get up. And it's just something different about being down there with the sunshine and the warmth. You want to get out of bed and get started on your day, but also,
you do, but
I took advantage of sleeping.
You can't.
So we'll just run down a few stories as we wrap up here. How about this, Mello? Did you know schools are teaching a different alphabet song than what we originally learned? A, B, C, D, E,
right.
To the tune of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Right. You now have grandchildren, you have more grandchildren.
And I noticed that they're doing something different.
Yeah, well, apparently.
And you try to correct them, but I guess that's the way it is now.
You can't correct them. That's what the teachers are teaching, because apparently some kids thought Y and Z was Y-N-Z.
Right.
Or that LMNOP was all one letter. So here is one teacher singing the new song. Something that you and I are definitely most likely not used to.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now I never will forget how to say the alphabet.
Oh my God, they're ruining everything.
But that is what I'm hearing, and...
So your grandchildren are singing it this way,
doing it that way. Yeah,
interesting. Well, okay.
While we're riding in a golf cart.
There you go. First responders in Kansas saved a 14-month-old toddler who fell down a pipe last week. It was a foot wide and 12 feet deep, but he wasn't seriously injured. Here is the boy's father, Blake, talking about the rescue.
He called out for his little brother. He acted like he was never going to see him again. I can't imagine what she thought whenever she saw him fall, because for all she knew, it was a sewer line, it was full of water, or it was 50 feet deep. I mean, she had no idea. By the grace of God, that boy was carried down that hole by an angel.
I got to tell you, these first responders
like that, amazing that they're able to bring that out successfully. I mean,
Your son is a first responder. He's a Utica firefighter and
20-year veteran, lieutenant. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 20 years. I was on a common council 20 years ago. And wow. I mean, it's really hard to comprehend that he's been there that long, and he's one of the senior men now. I mean, come on, he's still just a kid to me. So,
well, we thank all of our Utica firefighters, and this is something we've talked about Chief Ingersoll with. Is it's not just putting out fires. There's a lot of things the fire department does.
Oh, they do. There was some kind of stat with our ambulance. I seen that it's one of the number one calls in the nation. The
Utica.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
The response that they're doing. I mean, they're out all the time. I mean, but they get called for everything. So
yeah, well, we do thank our Utica firefighters, and we've got a lot more program to get to here as we're getting to the top of the hour. First News Keeler in the Morning continues next on WIBX.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal. Income may be subject to state, local, or alternative minimum tax. Did you know that municipal bonds are a way for investors to support civil projects while earning federally tax-free income? The Erie Canal, which led to the expansion of the United States into the Midwest in the 1800s, was financed with municipal bonds. Are you looking to bridge the gap between the income of your working years and the income needed in retirement? Municipal bonds might provide the solution you're looking for. Henyon & Walsh is a leading specialist in tax-free municipal bonds and has provided investors with quality service and personal attention since 1990. Call now to receive their informative bond guide absolutely free. Dial 1-800-761-9761 to learn how to earn retirement income while keeping your taxes at bay. Just dial 1-800-761-9761 for a copy of their informative bond guide for free. No cost, no obligation. 1-800-761-9761. Henyon & Walsh Inc., member of FINRA and SIPC.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Hurricane Debbie's closing in on Florida's Big Bend area. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Landfall soon.
We could get the very disorganized center of this coming right over us. Very heavy rain, up to a foot will fall here.
Fox Weather's Robert Ray is in Perry, Florida, but as Hurricane Debbie moves inland, it'll nearly stall.
This really slow motion is just going to dump historic amounts of rainfall.
Jamie Rome at the National Hurricane Center says up to 2 feet of rain, potentially for North Florida into Georgia and South Carolina the next few days. There's a lot of money being lost worldwide, with stock markets going down globally, led by Japan's Nikkei plunging 12% overnight, and futures on Wall Street also down big, so the selling expected to continue here.
The Dow did lose 600 points on Friday. It was because of that, unfortunately, that horrible jobs report. That kind of, got the conversation going about, are we going to have a recession in this country?
Fox Business Network Cheryl Casoni. Israel's waiting for the retaliation Iran vowed, perhaps today, after last week's bombing in Iran that killed Hamas's political leader.
The Wall Street Journal does report that Iran told U.S. and Arab diplomats that it didn't care if its counterstrike started a war. Jordan's foreign minister was in Iran yesterday for a meeting, and President Biden is scheduled to speak with Jordanian King Abdullah II. But there has been very little public Iranian interaction with those trying to avert a crisis.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Haifa, Israel. Vice President Harris is closer to picking her running mate, planning a rally with her VP choice tomorrow in Philadelphia.
Virtual roll call voting for Democratic delegates ends today, but Vice President Kamala Harris crossed the needed threshold last week, securing enough delegate support on Friday. The online voting caps a chaotic few weeks after President Biden abruptly ended his re-election bid.
Fox's Jared Halpern. We just learned Debbie has made landfall in Florida. America's listening to Fox News.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Jerry Paget, the second enlisted in the U.S. Navy and deployed multiple times to Iraq and Afghanistan until Jerry was catastrophically injured in an improvised explosive. And Jerry now lives more independently thanks to the specially adaptive technologies. Commit to $11 a month, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Days after the prisoner swap with Russia that freed 4 Americans, including Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich, Democratic Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is calling on the House to join the Senate, approving something to help them and others avoid penalties on taxes they weren't around to pay.
It's called the Stop Tax Penalty on American Hostages Act, and it amends the IRS code to prevent the IRS from imposing penalties and fines and payment of taxes on wrongful detainees and hostages.
Other Americans are still detained in Russia, however.
The mother of Mark Fogel, a teacher detained in Russia since 2021, said she was disappointed her son was not part of the recent swap that brought 3 Americans home last week. On Fox News Sunday, White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby said it wasn't for lack of effort.
We were trying to get Mark to be a part of this deal. Tried on a couple occasions, and the Russians just weren't biting. Doesn't mean we're giving up.
Fogel was sentenced to 14 years by a Russian court for possessing medical marijuana. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The U.S. is up to 72 medals at the Paris Olympics, more than any other country by far. 19 of them gold, including the one Scotty Scheffler got in golf.
A world record setting Sunday for Team USA. American swimmer Bobby Fink set a world record time winning the 1,500-meter freestyle. Fink's second medal of these Olympics. The U.S. women's swim team won the 4x100-meter medley in world record time. Track and field, first time in 20 years an American won the gold medal. And the 100-meter sprint, Noah Lyles, by 0.005 of a second, claimed gold. American Fred Kersey won the bronze.
That's Fox's Jared Max. In baseball, the White Sox lost again, beaten 13-7 by the Twins. Chicago's 20th straight loss. If they lose again today against Oakland, the White Sox will tie the 1988 Orioles for the longest streak in American League history. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time. 7:05. I'm Andrew Dermenio. Right now it is mostly sunny, 66 degrees. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. A 14-year-old boy was hit by a vehicle at the Quick Fill gas station on State Route 31 Sunday evening. The crash, reported around 5:40 p.m., resulted in the teenager being taken to the hospital with a severe head injury. State police are investigating the incident. Authorities have not yet released further details on the condition of the teenager or the circumstances of the crash. The Solvay Fire Department responded to an explosion in the industrial section of the village of Solvay Sunday morning. The explosion occurred when a compressed natural gas tank exploded while an employee was working on a car. Fortunately, there was no injuries, no fire, hazardous material release, or threat to the community. Additionally, no injuries were reported. The New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, or DEC, is seeking public assistance in reporting wild turkey sightings throughout the month of August. The Summer Wild Turkey Sighting Survey helps monitor the turkey population and reproductive success by estimating the number of poults per hen. Participation is simple. Residents can fill out an online form with details about the sightings, including location and the number of turkeys observed. The survey has been aiding DEC's wildlife management efforts and predicting fall harvest potentials since 1996. Central New York will start Monday with some sunshine, but showers and storms are expected to move in by midday and continue through the evening. These storms could become severe, bringing damaging winds, large hail, and heavy rain. Highs will reach the mid-80s with high humidity. A cold front will follow, bringing cooler and less humid air starting Tuesday, with a significant drop in temperatures expected midweek. And the Justice Department is suing TikTok over claims the social media company violated children's privacy laws. The agency accused the ByteDance-owned app of allowing children under the age of 13 to create accounts and collecting data on those children. It also says TikTok failed to comply with parents' requests to delete accounts and information. If verified, TikTok would be violating the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time coming up on 7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Wheelock Disposal, local, reliable, affordable trash service. For today, we can expect mostly sunny skies with the possibility of showers and thunderstorms. Overnight, chance of showers and thunderstorms, cloudy with a low in the low 60s. Tomorrow, a decent day, partly sunny, with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Right now, we're at 66 degrees under mostly clear skies. It is 7:08. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43, local contractors. The Yankees got it done, taking another series post All-Star break, beating the division rival Toronto Blue Jays by a score of 4-3. It was DJ LeMahieu surprising us all, as his struggles have been great as of late, right, Mello? He's been not the guy he used to be back in Colorado or early on in the Yankees.
No, certainly not. But
he's struggling.
He shows up once in a while.
Yeah, like the other night, he
Grand
accounted
slam,
for all the runs the Yankees scored.
Yeah. You can't figure it.
You can't figure it out. But the good news is the Yankees are definitely doing better than before the All-Star break. They claim the series against the Blue Jays. DJ LeMahieu stepped in the bottom of the 10th and laced a single to score the winning run. Mark Leiter Jr. earned the win. He's another good post-All-Star break prior to the trade deadline pickup. Securing the win in relief as New York has won 7 of 8 to stay second in the AL East. They'll host the Angels tomorrow night. The Mets dropped their series to the Angels following a 3-2 loss in the finale from Anaheim. Francisco Lindor and Harrison Bader drove in runs. Jose Quintana got the loss after giving up all 3 runs on 3 hits over 5 innings. New York has lost 3 of their last 5 to remain third in the NL East. They'll visit the Cardinals tonight in a makeup game. Hard to believe that the NFL season is right around the corner. Preseason action is underway. The Jets think their star quarterback can turn back the clock this season. Head coach Robert Saleh told the media Saturday that Aaron Rodgers looks like he, quote, never missed any time after a 90-minute scrimmage. The 40-year-old is coming off a season-ending Achilles tear just 4 plays into his gangrene career last year. Saleh says the Super Bowl-winning quarterback is unlikely to play in the preseason. Here's another story in Major League Baseball. Back to MLB. The Minnesota Twins completed a 3-game sweep of the Chicago White Sox with a 13-7 win at Target Field. The Twins scored 6 runs in the second inning to take an 8-0 lead and kept Chicago at an arm's length the rest of the way. The White Sox are the first team to lose 20 consecutive games since 1988. They are struggling big time.
Why hasn't this manager been fired yet?
I don't know. Why hasn't Boone been fired? You know, some things you just don't know the answers. Some questions you just don't know the answers to, Smitty. I think at this point it's like, why bring a new manager into this mess?
It's lost. So
yeah, figure it out in the offseason. This is really an inspirational story. What a patriot. Scotty Scheffler is an Olympic champion after winning gold at the Paris Games. Scheffler finished atop the leaderboard in the men's individual golf tournament at 19 under par Sunday. The 28-year-old shot a 62 in the final round to take first place. I believe that was a course record. Great Britain's Tommy Fleetwood won silver at 18 under par. Japan's Hideki Matsuyama won bronze. Fellow Americans Xander Schauffele and Wyndham Clark finished tied for 9th and 14th, while Colin Morikawa finished tied for 24th. And it was really nice to see Scheffler get teary-eyed as the national anthem played.
As it should be.
Yeah. What a patriot.
Yeah, but
love it.
he was really down.
Yeah, he was played from behind.
Yeah, John Rahm was dominating the first 9 holes, and then he took it down on the back 9. He had a bogey, and then a double bogey, and they thought he was going to actually win it. He was like 4 shots up, and the front 9, and then John Rahm.
And speaking of the Olympics, the U.S. increased its medal lead at the Paris Olympics with 10 more medals on Sunday. Team USA has now won 71 total medals, including 19 gold, which is tied with China for the most gold. The Chinese are now second in the overall standings with 45 medals, followed by France with 44. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 712. If you're dealing with excruciating pain, I have a possible solution for you. If you go to reviveutica.com, you'll learn all about Tim Delmedico and his new technology from Germany and now in Utica on Genesee Street. It's Revive Soft Wave Therapy. It's an FDA-cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free treatment for chronic pain, inflammation, and joint issues. Whether you're dealing with neck, back, knee, wrist, arthritis, shoulder, or foot and ankle pain like I was dealing with, give them a try. If you mention the Keeler Show, you'll get a sweet discount part of Discovery Days. You'll get a consultation with one of their doctors, a soft wave therapy treatment, and they'll put you on a treatment and recovery plan and assessment. In my case, it was a inflammation and irritation from a half marathon I ran. Probably didn't have any business doing that, but I did
Probably
it.
Not.
Thanks for the support. Team USA actually using soft wave therapy in their locker rooms as well for recovery. Give them a try. 315-725-8427. 315-725-8427. You can see videos, testimonials, and look into some of the research behind Revive Softwave Therapy at their website, reviveutica.com. Another great hour coming up on First News with Keeler in the morning. Next, including that free money question of the day. Mello, we might have to come up with a question, a good one. Smitty, how much money will we be giving away to kick off? I mean, we've been away for a while, so maybe we want to be a little bit generous with the Bicos money.
Oh, hell no.
$100.
$100?
Yeah.
We have been off for a whole week.
$100.
All right, $200. We'll give away $200 of a Bicos money.
That sounded like Keeler for a minute.
Coming up in
Overruled.
just a little bit on First News Keeler in the morning, next on WIBX.
If you're looking for flooring, boy, do I have the perfect place for you. This is Bill Keeler, and I highly recommend in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, the area's leading flooring store. They have the absolute largest inventory in Central New York, and it's a brand new store at the Route 49 Plaza in Marcy. And if you're looking for Pergo Extreme, they have a price guarantee anywhere in the area within a 60-mile radius of their store. It's a pretty awesome deal, and you know you're going to get the best deal at Inserras. Log on to their website at InserrasFlooringOutlet.com and sign up to save $50 off your next purchase of $500 or more. You can shop online or in the store. You will not find a better selection than Inserras Flooring Outlet. See why more people buy from the big store. Its selection, its price, and it's a 6-month interest-free financing. Log on to the website, InserrasFlooringOutlet.com, and see for yourself or visit their store. Inserras Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
Our back-to-school blowout is on at Mattress Express. Take up to 60 months to pay for anything in the store with no money down. Let me repeat that. Take up to 60 months to pay at Mattress Express with no money down for qualified buyers. See store for details.
The 2024 Summer Meet at Saratoga Racecourse is underway, featuring the nation's top horses, jockeys, and trainers. Thoroughbred Racing's premier meet continues Wednesdays to Sundays, every week through Labor Day. Whether you want to class it up for brunch, handicap the races, or feel the thrill of the finish line, our many ticket packages have something for everyone. Join the party and experience a slice of history by visiting nyra.com/tickets for all individual and group packages.
Whatever happened to Tony Horton, the guy who created the revolutionary P90X?
2017, I was knocked down. A very rare type of shingles that went straight into my brain. My body was completely wasting away. I started researching everything related to building my muscle back again. That's when I learned about the potential of HMB plus vitamin D3 and what they can do when it comes to helping build new muscle.
So Tony developed high-impact protein by Power Life.
Just add 1 scoop of high-impact protein to a glass of water or your morning smoothie and enjoy the effects of that boss molecule and factory worker combination. reshaping your body each and every day. More energy, burn more fat, and probably drop a few pounds along the way.
High Impact Protein by Power Life is a tasty once-a-day powder that comes in either whey or plant protein. Go to mypowerlife.com and use code MUSCLE to save 30%. Tony even offers a 90-day guarantee. Go to mypowerlife.com or text MUSCLE to 511-511. Text MUSCLE to 511-511 today. All individuals are unique. Your results can and will vary. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Let's face it, life can just get messy. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will take care of it for you. If you need help with clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts will handle it. We understand sometimes it's more than just a cleanout, it's an accumulation of someone's life. We go the extra mile to do the job with integrity, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
First news, Keeler in the morning on a Monday. It is good to be back. Mello Testa is my guest host this morning. Very honored to have you in the chair. Thank you very much. Smitty as well. He's going to be going on vacation as I'm back from vacation. Bill's still on vacation. We'll be back to full force by the end of the week.
The 12th will be all in force.
Yeah, right, because you'll be off the rest of the week.
Right.
So you'll have to bear with me, and luckily Mello's been helping me keep things on the track here. Hopefully we've been doing a good job, and hopefully you've been enjoying a live show, and you'll actually be happy to know if you're watching on YouTube, you were watching before and only getting the Keeler Show Scrabble board. Now you've got my bald spot and Mello on the YouTube stream. So.
Cool.
Here we go. You're not balding, Mello. You got a great, healthy head of hair.
Yeah, right.
At the age of 70, you just celebrated your 70th birthday.
Yeah, what a celebration it was.
I know. I was sad to miss it, but you don't look a day over 60.
Well, I've heard different, but thank you.
I want to bring in now Ashley Massey. She's an MBA and is a top-performing real estate agent who teaches other agents how to grow their business. She's the author of Fast Track Agent. I myself am a real estate agent here locally in the area, Ashley. And we have you on this morning to talk about millennials, defying norms, leading the charge in solo home purchases. Good morning. How are you?
Wonderful. Good morning. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
We're glad to have you here. In a recent bank rate study finding that 42% of millennials have purchased a home by themselves without the assistance of a partner, bucking the tradition of purchasing with a significant other or spouse. Bank rate analyst Alex Gailey said millennials are buying homes in other ways too, buying a home with a friend or relative, like a sister or a brother, than domestic partners, spouses. They do continue to be less common as a whole. So what is there to explain this in your mind?
Yeah, so what we're seeing here is, we've all noticed that there's been some drastic changes in the housing market across the United States for the last few years. And so with those changes, we all have to kind of adapt and figure out new ways to make home ownership more affordable. It's something that everybody still believes is a part of the American dream. But for millennials, they have to try to figure out a way to make it more possible. So if our lifestyles are changing, maybe they're not getting married right away, family life looks a little bit different, they're saying, hey, let's just pick up and buy a house with a friend. Why not? It's better than renting.
It is, and there could be some other complications depending on the situation, as I'm sure you've experienced in your time as an agent. You get that call a couple years later. We need you to sell the house. This isn't working out. But I think one of the interesting things too is that people are waiting longer to get married. In my personal experience, I didn't find my significant other until just a few years ago. I had purchased my home. She purchased her home, and now I'm living with her. I'm renting my house, But it is a trend where I think millennials are waiting a little bit longer to take the plunge into marriage, but they still want to take advantage of home ownership.
Absolutely. And I think we're just seeing a big difference in how people are using their homes. We've got a lot of people that are working from home now, and so it opens up a lot of options on what does a home mean to you. It's not just a place to raise a family. There's a lot more happening there.
And talk about this too. I mean, I'm sure you're seeing this as well. I don't know where you're practicing real estate in particular, but here in upstate New York, rents are very high. And so, if you're owning a home or you own a rental income, it's definitely advantageous for you. But as the rentor, it's still sometimes a bit of a chunk to bite off to pay that rent.
Absolutely. And I think that's something that it comes back to affordability, right? And we have to find solutions to make housing more affordable for everyone. And so if renting in certain areas around the United States, that has continued to increase significantly, impacting people. So what can we do about making homeownership something that people can attain again? And I think this is one of those interesting ways.
Yeah, and Mello, you were talking during the break. You said it's interesting. It used to be that people lived at home and then they found their significant other and then you'd get married and then buy the house together. That's not the case anymore.
No, that's. I guess this is something that is new to me. But around here, we're seeing a lot of people renting though with these the loft apartments and all that. That has been the new trend in this area. But to see that millennials are buying homes, honestly, that's a surprise to me. It really is.
Well,
it's really exciting though.
It is.
Yeah.
And there's a newer generation, the Gen Z, which, everybody was kind of talking a lot of smack about the millennial generation. And, oh, my gosh, they're not nearly as bad as the Gen Z individuals, right? So, but Ashley, what are you seeing as far as, I know that we were talking about millennials leading the charge in solo home purchases, but from your vantage point, from the real estate standpoint, where do you kind of see it on a national level? Where do you see rates going, and where do you see prices going as a result?
Yeah, well, we're seeing rates. We saw rates slide down last week. If you've been watching the news, it's been a little wild.
Yeah.
So, and one of the things I just keep talking with my clients about is the real estate market is all about supply and demand. So when those rates come down and now suddenly your mortgage payment's going to be a few $100s less and maybe you thought it was going to be last month when you were looking at homes, those people are going to be coming back into the marketplace. When those people come back into the marketplace, those prices start to slide back up because we start to lose that inventory. And so it's all basic supply and demand. So I really lead the education with my clients on really understanding what that means for them, how that translates into the day-to-day as we're trying to find houses, and just making sure they find something that works.
Yeah, and I tell a lot of my buyers who say, "Oh, I just need I think I need to wait." There is something to be said about buying with a higher interest rate and the prices being a little bit lowered because of the fact that you can always refinance. That's always an option. Mm-hmm. So maybe you have to deal with the higher.
We're looking at the house and we're looking at the note.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to look at, you might have to, have a little bit higher of a payment for maybe a year or two, but then you can always buy, refinance and get that rate down and save yourself the couple extra $100. And also you want to try to save up enough money to eliminate that PMI. But talk to your local real estate agent about that.
And to get away from that competition.
Yeah.
Because, our market has fierce competition, and working against multiple offers is never an easy situation.
It is not. Well, Ashley Massey, we really appreciate you taking the time this morning, and maybe you tell the millennial in your life that's in the basement, you can do it. Buy your own home. Everybody else is doing it.
Get out of the basement.
Love it. Thank you guys so much.
All right, Ashley Massey, thank you so much, and you have a great week.
Thanks, y'all too.
All right, and if you are looking for a real estate agent, I know a good one. You
got
can
a guy?
me a call. As Mello says, he's got a guy. So we will take a quick break and come back. We do have the opportunity. Actually, before we break, I got a few other things I want to get into here. The Olympics underway. I know that there's been a lot of controversy around the Olympics that we won't get into because, as we said, there's some things that should be better left unsaid. Obviously there are.
It's hard.
It's hard. There are some people it seems like everything's political nowadays, and everybody's got an agenda.
Even if it wasn't, it becomes
political. I think ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to kind of look from a bird's eye view and say, what are the Olympics all about? It's about celebrating patriotism and the athletes who have nothing to do with the opening ceremony or anything like that. These athletes work hard, and we got to try to support them in any way that they can. You may not choose to watch, but it's interesting to follow. Like it was a golden weekend for several U.S. athletes, most notably watching the greatest gymnast of all time, Simone Biles. Here she is on Saturday night with her gold-winning vault, her 7th gold medal, tied for 3rd most by a female American Olympian at any sport. Oh, I guess this is just the music. Da-da-da-da!
It is Simone Biles. Oh, there it is. Biles and Jade Carey.
Gold medalist and Olympic champion, Simone Biles.
Golden again, Simone Biles, and we're not done.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I was seeing reports over the weekend that maybe she was retiring after this Olympics, and that her and her husband, Jonathan Owens, who is the former Green Bay Packer, now he's playing for the Bears, expecting their first child. So she's competing in the Olympics while pregnant. Quite impressive.
Indeed, yeah.
Yep. And one of the most dramatic wins yesterday in Paris was in the men's 100-meter sprint. Noah Lyles.
That was nice to see.
Yeah, Noah Lyles became the first American man to win it in 20 years, but at first he wasn't named as the winner. Listen to what happened. He won by 0.005 of a second. I don't even know how to read that. What is that? How do you say that? 5/100ths of a second? Here's some audio for that.
Noah Lyles said after he was defeated yesterday in his heat, "I won't be underestimating my opponents again, and I feel sorry for my competitors." There's an Olympic gold medal waiting for somebody. Who wants it the most? This is close. Jamaica's going to do it on debut. They're working on the photo. Noah Lyles is looking anxiously. It's Noah Lyles, and it had to go to a photo finish to decide it.
Wow, pretty impressive. No matter how you feel about what went on, it's always good to support. You get great stories like Scotty Scheffler, coming from behind and
I've always
setting a
followed
course
the Olympics growing up. It was the, being in track and cross country, of course, that was the Summer Games. And I went to the Montreal Games, and I seen the decathlon. I seen some boxing. I always followed it and always a big fan of it. But honestly, it's just maybe there's just so much sports on TV now. You can watch anything, anywhere, anytime. It just doesn't have the same.
I know. I
draw
think the
for
last
me anymore. It really doesn't.
Yeah, for me, I think the last real exciting Olympics was when Aaron Hamlin was competing.
Oh, sure, that brings a local
tie to it. Yeah, but so you're more summer than winter. If
well,
you had
no,
to say?
I mean I went up to Lake Placid when they had their games 2 weeks after the games.
Oh, okay.
Just to tour it, and I had the only one we had Mina at the time. That was it, and it was 1980, and we went up there and. First time I've been to Lake Placid. And,
oh, really? Yeah. Beautiful up there.
Oh, yeah. I've been there many times since. But, yeah, we were able to go to all the events, the venues, after the fact, and just see it. And it was a great experience. But, yeah, I've always followed the Olympics. I was, big fan of it. But honestly, lately, it just it hasn't had the same
allure.
Yeah, it really hasn't.
Well, no doubt about it. It's going to be going on until the 11th. So if you're sick and tired of the Yankees, which they've been exciting to watch now, then you can tune in to that. And also, we've got the NFL starting preseason action, which is incredibly boring. I don't tend to watch the NFL preseason, but you have plenty of options. And if you want to watch the Olympics, it's going on until August 11th. Smitty, you got something?
Well, the Hall of Fame game on Thursday, if you've seen that, was only called after third quarter because of torrential rain and downpours.
Yeah, the Bears won. Now they think they're going to be Super Bowl champions all of a sudden.
The ceremony was on Saturday. I happened to see that.
Yeah, Julius Peppers giving the green and gold a shout out there for his induction speech.
Did you see what they did for Steve Mongo McMichael?
No, I didn't.
He has ALS.
Oh, okay.
I seen that.
Yeah, all his half of his teammates from the '85 Chicago Bears were present for him. His wife dressed him up in his suit, and they had his plaque right there. So one of his teammates were recapping his speech, and Chris Berman, who was the MC, was reading it at Canton. It was really, really nice.
Yeah, it was tough to see him lying in that bed, though.
Yeah.
That was really hard to look at.
Yeah.
But it's
a terrible disease,
yeah.
and it is known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Actually, after the game last night, we were up at my future in-law's house. As we were waiting for them to come home, we had dinner with my future brother-in-law and watching the speech. It was the Yankees history, because sometimes after the post game you don't turn off the TV. You'll hear John Sterling do his Yankeeography, and
those are great. Even I've seen them. I've always I'll go see it again. I mean,
you have to.
They're just.
It kind of makes you don't know what you got till it's gone. You miss Sterling on the radio broadcast sometimes.
Well. Yeah, I never thought I would say yes, but I do.
You miss hearing his voice and his commentary. And actually, I may actually see if Steve would be willing to call in. Steve Spurbeck of ERL Intermodal. He's living down in Savannah, Georgia now, texting in this morning. Greetings from soggy Savannah, Georgia. Debbie about to make things interesting. Up to 2 feet of rain for the next 3 days. Maybe we'll get Steve to call in and give us an update on how he's preparing and how things are looking so far as the storm is about to make landfall in the Panhandle, just below the Panhandle in Florida. We send all of our well wishes to our Utica residents that are living down there right now.
Many of them.
Many of them. So we'll hopefully maybe get an update from Steve. I'll see if he's willing to call in. We also have our free money question of the day coming up. Smitty, what caller do we want to go for to give away $200 of Habaika's money, possibly, for our free money question of the day?
Caller 9.
Caller 9 right now through the phone lines, 315-736-0186, or you can call using the free WIBX 950 mobile app, 315-736-0186. Caller 9 right now to win, possibly, Habaika's money on WIBX.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Now at My Carl's, get a whole house full of furniture for one amazing low price, only $19.99. Or finance it with my no credit needed financing. I'll even throw in a free mattress. Wow! And here's what you get: a living room, a bedroom, and a dining room. That's a whole house full of furniture, all for only $19.99. Plus a free mattress. It doesn't get any better than this. 3 rooms of furniture plus a free mattress. One amazing low price, only $19.99, only at My Carl's.
What's your design inspiration? A picture on the wall? A photo from a magazine? A board you've made on Pinterest? Hi, this is Kira Meelan from Meelan's Carpet One. It's amazing what some of our customers bring to us for inspiration, and we love working side by side with them to help turn their flooring dream into a reality. It's actually one of my favorite parts of the job, helping you to discover your perfect flooring. And there really is so much to discover. Consider the latest flooring trends as you plan your next home project. Many of our customers are surprised by the incredible new choices we have available. For example, today's snap-together waterproof luxury vinyl is incredibly popular. It's durable and it's stunning, with so many styles that replicate hardwood and beautiful stone looks. We have options that inspire, designers who will help bring it all together, and always a beautiful installation. To get the perfect flooring, start with the right flooring store. Visit Mealan's Carpet One on Commercial Drive East in Yorkville.
I don't like onions. I'm doing paleo. Do they have gluten-free bagels? You can't juggle every food request for a work event, or can you? EasyCater is the all-in-one tech platform that makes it easy to get restaurant catering for work, with options for any group's size, taste, dietary preference, or budget. EasyCater saves your favorite restaurants and orders, which makes reordering a snap. Need to modify an order? No problem. So when it comes to food for work, make it easy on yourself with EasyCater. Start your order at easycater.com.
For eligible individuals, 18 and older only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Select's premium package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home, all done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better.
You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge.
Oh, you people are wonderful.
Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee.
I hear better than I ever thought possible.
Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to JabraEnhance.com/radio. That's JABRA Enhance.com/radio. JabraEnhance.com/radio.
My name is Mark Fry. I'm the Director of Thoracic Surgery here at Mohawk Valley Health System. I'm a board-certified thoracic surgeon specializing in robotic thoracic surgery. Thoracic surgery encompasses most of the issues that occur in the chest, things like lung cancer, esophageal cancer. We've implemented a multidisciplinary approach to thoracic oncology, which has never been available here in the Mohawk Valley. Patients really benefit from treatment in a multidisciplinary team, with a number of specialties all coming together to provide the cutting-edge, high-quality care that the patients of Mohawk Valley deserve. The lung cancer screening program here at MVHS identifies people who may be at high risk for lung cancer. It really drastically improves their outcomes and survival when we can identify these potential lung cancers early on before patients even have symptoms. Our thoracic program here at Mohawk Valley Health System really prides ourselves on high-quality, cutting-edge, state-of-the-art care.
For more information, visit mvhealthsystem.org.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
First news, Keeler in the morning on a Monday. Bill is off. He will be back later this week. Smitty will be enjoying vacation after tomorrow. We'll have him for one more day. I am honored and privileged to have Melo Testa in the co-host chair this morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
You've somewhat helped to inspire our free money question of the day here this morning, and it is Olympic related. So we will bring Kevin in. We do have Steve Spurbeck from ERL Intermodal on the line. He's going to be giving us an update. He's down in Savannah, Georgia right now. He's going to be talking to us about how he's preparing for Hurricane Debbie that is about to make landfall in Florida, but will no doubt go up into Georgia and beyond. So we'll talk with him in just a minute. But on the line right now is our man Kevin in New Hartford. Kevin, good morning. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
We're doing wonderful, and it's good to be back here behind the microphone. I was worried I was going to come in here and totally forget how to do this thing, but hopefully
you got it.
I've been doing all right. So definitely tough to fill Bill's shoes when he's not here, but hopefully we're doing okay.
Great, and I hope Bill's doing okay himself.
I know that he's I talked to him via text, even though he's far away here on vacation, and he says he's doing well, finally getting used to the medication regimen. So I will express his concerns, or your good wishes to him, and we all hope that he's doing well, and we'll have him back later this week. So without further ado, we will get to our free money question of the day, courtesy of Joseph and Andrew Habaika, 315-724-1600 for all your legal needs. And again, this is an Olympics-related question. So are you ready? Now, I will ask you this. Are you a fan of the Olympics and, in particular, the 1980 Olympics? That's the hint. It will be 1980 Winter Olympics related as the games were held in Lake Placid.
Oh, well, that's interesting because we had a camp up by St. Regis Falls, which is near Lake Placid as well. So I don't know how.
Well, there you go. Well, let's listen.
Good luck.
The biggest thing about a free money question of the day is if you don't know, throw out a guess. You never know. For $200 from Habaika and his law firm, here we go. How many gold medals were won by the U.S. in the 1980 Winter Olympics? Ready, go. How many gold medals?
I don't know, but I'm going to say 13.
Oh, very, very good guess. Actually, and this is surprising. You know, the USA right now in these Paris Summer Games have the medal counts are very high, but for some reason, maybe there weren't as many events back in 1980.
Oh, that's probably it. Yep.
But they actually won a total of 12 medals in 1980, but gold, they took home 6. And as you said, Mello, none sweeter than
the hockey.
The hockey, where actually they beat the Soviet Union, who were dominant in those 1980 Winter Games. That was actually the...
Do you believe in miracles?
Yes, Michael... I'm drawing a blank. Wow. Michael, who's the announcer? Smitty, help me out.
What was that?
Who was the announcer? Hello.
Al Michaels.
Al Michaels. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. They're actually using his voice via AI in these Paris games. Well, Kevin, you didn't win the money, but we do have the food and fun card good at
great deal.
Any garden entertainment location, whether it be the Adirondack Bank Center or Babe's, Cookies, Q, and Creamery, which the big news coming out yesterday was Rooster's Burgers will be going into that space at Cookies, Q, and Creamery, and they're going to be sharing a space.
Great move.
2 separate entities, so food will be back where Cookies is. You have a great ice cream, the half-gallon sundaes, and you can get a great Rooster Smash Burger as well. So, Kevin,
they are good.
Thank you for playing, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your week, buddy.
Okay, thank you, and you have a good weekend, too.
Thanks. Bye-bye. All right, so that's Kevin there in New Hartford. Oh, yeah, sorry, Kevin. Call back. Smitty's got to get your information. I hung up on him. On the line right now, we want to welcome in a great friend of the program, great friend of mine personally, Steve Spurbeck from ERL Intermodal, who was instrumental in our big Rome water drive. Steve, we want to thank you once again for all that you do for us here. Bill and I call you up with an idea, and you don't hesitate. You jump right in and you assist, and we were able to provide much-needed water to those impacted by the tornado in Rome. So we want to thank you for that.
Well, no problem. It's the least we can do, to help out the community. And, it's I wasn't there, but from what everybody tells me, pictures can't even do it justice as to the devastation that it was. So we can give back a little bit, because of the resources that we have, Tom Highland at Utica Mac, and, you guys have always been great to me. Sleep in Heavenly Peace Utica is so successful because people like Bill Keeler and yourself jumped on board right from the beginning and got the word out. And so I'll always thank you for that. So whatever we can do to give back, even though I'm 1,000 miles away, we're here for it.
Well, we do appreciate that, and that's the thing about Central New Yorkers. If they go elsewhere and they go to live somewhere else, they never forget where they came from.
Never forget.
And of course, Mello Test.
Home.
Yeah, it's still home, and Mello Testa in here this morning as a co-host. No stranger to helping out the community when the need is there, and. Speaking of devastating storms, Rome, no doubt, really devastated by that tornado.
I drove through there for the first time Friday. Stayed away as instructed. I had no reason to be there. But Friday I was out there driving, and I took the time to drive around the city, and I just shook my head. This is 2 weeks after the fact, and I can't believe it happened here.
I know. And the announcement from the state that additional funds will be coming in
rightfully so
to help. And I know that the Assembly Speaker Carl Hastie was here to tour the area last week as well, and it was good to see that he was here and touring the area and with Marianne Buttonshot and all of our local leaders who have been instrumental in that recovery effort. So we continue to wish the best for our neighbors in Rome. But Steve, you're dealing with something that I think this is a first for you since moving down there, Hurricane Debbie. Talk to us a little bit about what you're experiencing right now as the storm is looking to make landfall in the Tallahassee area, Panhandle area, Big Bend this morning.
Yeah, it did just make landfall about 45 minutes ago, but right now the weather, it's kind of the calm before the storm. The weather is beautiful. It's 75 degrees, which is the coolest it's been in about a month. And just cloudy and just waiting for the rain to start. But, we're calling for up to 24 inches of rain in our area. And then of course, the storm surge coming up the river is going to probably be, just as worse than the rain coming down from the sky. But fortunately, where I live, where my house is, we should be okay, except for maybe some power outages or whatnot. But hopefully the tornadoes stay away. We're under a tornado watch as we speak. So did the customary. Went to the grocery store yesterday, stocked up on bread and milk. And,
got the bread and milk and everything else. The toilet paper, which is essential.
A few cases of water, and which was pretty much sold out. But I don't know, people down here seem to be taking it, and they seems to be just everyday life down here. So this is my first experience. So it should be interesting. I'd almost rather shovel 2 feet of snow.
Really? Well,
having to deal with water.
Come on, Steve. No way. I mean, well, at least one person down in Florida I spoke to. I was my fiance and I were down there last week, and one of the people we talked to down there said, "You don't have to shovel heat." You're talking about, where the differences between Florida's extreme weather in the summer and our extreme weather here in the winter.
Every part of the country has their.
Yeah, the heat index. The heat index here has been 108.
Wow.
For the last couple of weeks, and but the problem is, in July we've received about 22 inches of rain for the whole month. We're going to receive that in the next 2 days.
Wow.
And the ground is already saturated, so that's going to be a major problem. So
now I know that you're in the
band down the hatches and ride it out.
Well, I also know that you said you also have a good stock of Utica clubs. So I mean that's really an essential survival element there when you're waiting out the storm.
So the good thing is my daughter goes to school in Raleigh, North Carolina, and there's a Wegmans there.
Oh,
so
okay.
Every time we go to Raleigh, I stock up on my Utica Club and Dinosaur's barbecue sauce and
over.
Speedy sauce.
There you go.
So I have to import it, but there's a way to get it, and that was a good thing. So I do have my 2 cases of water and my 1 case of Utica Club. So hopefully that'll be enough.
It's a good ratio.
Anybody coming down the next couple of weeks through Georgia, I may need another case of Utica Club.
Well, I'm sure we can find somebody to hook you up without a doubt. Now, that's the next thing I want to talk to you about is you are in the logistics and transportation industry, being the president of ERL Intermodal, still involved in the business here locally, but you're also doing something similar down there in Savannah. How do you predict that storms like this can interrupt the transportation of goods or that industry as a whole?
So the Savannah port is the 3rd largest port I'm in the United States, behind Los Angeles, New York, and then there's Savannah. So it's a major import-export port. So it's going to be a major disruption for probably half the country, the whole Southeast, and up as far as Dallas, Texas, to Chicago, because I'm assuming probably by tomorrow, because the winds are going to be over 35 miles an hour sustained, that the port will probably be shutting down for at least a couple of days, plus the storm surge coming up the river. So the port of Savannah is 18 miles up the river from the ocean. So it's not like right on the ocean. So they actually bring these big cargo ships with 15,000 containers right through downtown Savannah. It's a lot of kind of like a tourist attraction, seeing these big ships come up. But obviously they're not going to be able to do that with the storm surge coming. So we're just trying to get all of our containers out of the port for the week today, so we can keep operating, as long as it's safe to do so. And then, so it's a day-to-day, hour-by-hour, thing right now. As conditions get worse, we just have to adjust. It's my first experience. I don't really know what to expect. So
yeah,
that might be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know.
Well, that's the interesting thing is you did mention it before, dealing with snow as opposed to water. There is really nothing more devastational than floods and water. So, well, Steve, we wish you the best of luck, and anything you need, including maybe some UC, if any of our listeners are heading down that way, Steve will definitely need a replenishment. He's done so much for us here locally. Maybe you can help him out. So,
I'll need it. Anybody coming through Georgia the next week, I'll need a case Utica Club to hold me over.
Just one?
Just at least one, right?
My daughter starts school in 2 weeks, so I'll be able to get it again.
There you go. All right, well, Steve, we wish you the best of luck. Stay safe and keep us posted. Maybe we'll check in with you later in the week for another update.
No problem. Thank you, guys. Hello to everybody up in Utica. We miss you, and we'll see what happens here.
All right, well, stay safe, and thanks so much for calling in. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye.
Steve Spurbeck from ERL Intermodal. Steve, just instrumental in so many things, like yourself, always looking to do what he can to help the community that we all love so very much. A few things before we break here. Here's some stupid news stories. Speaking of Georgia, this is not Steve, but a Georgia man was arrested after allegedly approaching a woman at the mall, then licking and sucking on her hair. No, it was not Joe Biden. Devin Davis was charged with simple battery. Here are mall goers talking about the crime.
I don't know of anybody that licks hairs. That person shouldn't be around other people. I would keep my distance from him and keep my wife and kids away from him for sure.
I think that's gross. And I think I would have responded in a way that I probably would have been in jail today.
You don't want to mess with those Georgians down there. They have a different set of, let's say Second Amendment laws in Georgia and Florida.
Yes, they do. Things are certainly different.
They're definitely a different world. In a new poll, 27% of Americans say they're worried they're becoming their parents. You know those, what are those commercials? The progressive commercials?
I've seen that and felt it a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
The average person first realizes they act like their parents at 30 years old. Respondents said acting like your parents included habits like getting to the airport early, forgetting something at home, and making friends while traveling. This is like, my whole last week. Here's a clip from Don't Become Your Parents commercial from Progressive.
These are my tissue box covers.
Remember, tissues come in their own boxes. It's important for young homeowners to let go of the things turning them into their parents.
There we go.
All right, who's next?
I've been holding on to these pieces of crown molding because you never know when you're going to need them.
I do, and it's never.
Gotta love those commercials.
Oh man, I can relate to that.
Oh my gosh. Well, one thing about your Uber ride, and I gotta tell you, one of the big things about being a great Uber driver is making sure you keep that rating up. And one way to do that is the amenities that you provide.
Yeah. I mean, some people they go overboard with it. But I provide a clean vehicle.
Yes,
which is
that's huge.
The most important thing, because I've taken Uber rides myself too, and I get in these cars and I'm wondering, wait a minute, I'm at 4.97, 4.98. I struggle to stay there. How are these people even on the road? I mean, the cars are. And I understand some of the cars. It's but clean them before you go out. Clean your car.
I know.
And you can provide something. I have like water available for longer trips.
Yep.
I have Wi-Fi in my car. I have things like that where people appreciate it. But the candy and the gum, I did it when I first started. But it's really not. If they ask for it, I have it.
Yeah.
But it's not that I have it in the back anymore where they're gonna take it all or whatever. When I was dealing with a lot of college students at the time, that completely empty after each ride. So it's just. You provide a service, good conversation. You'll keep your numbers up
and good tunes.
Oh man,
you always got good tunes going.
The best tunes. I mean, listening to music now, it means so much more to me. And that really, even when there's no one in the car, I just I'm playing the music that I want to hear, and I get a lot of compliments on it. So
you got good taste all around, Mello.
Well, I try.
So we'll finish up the hour here as we're about a minute away from having to take a commercial break with a couple comments. You're welcome to leave those on the WIBX 950 app. Here's John from Bridgewater. We were talking about first responders just a little while ago. Hey, Andrew, my nephew Trevor Goodenough is a proud Utica firefighter and has been for a while. So thank you, Trevor, for what you do.
Thank
you. Deeds in New Hartford. I love these great stories from the Olympics of men pretending to be women and beating real women up because they cannot compete in men's sports.
Here we go.
Blanking disgusting. That's from Deeds in New Hartford. There is a little bit, I'm still confused about this whole situation. Apparently it's illegal to be transgender in Algeria, and maybe she's not transgender, but she definitely has the
give me a break
extra
That's all I'm
chromosome.
saying.
Yeah. It's what would the Olympics be without a little controversy?
There's controversy, and then there's controversy, and what we seen was bad. I mean, it could have been a whole lot worse. Put it that way.
Yes. So it remains to be seen what will happen with the Algerian boxer. But again, if you don't want to watch the Olympics, there's other things on TV.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll have a full hour coming up next on WIBX.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
For eligible individuals, 18 and older only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Select's premium package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home, all done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better.
You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge.
Oh, you people are wonderful.
Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee.
I hear better than I ever thought possible.
Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to jabraenhance.com/try. That's JABRA enhance.com/try. JabraEnhance.com.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. A Town Square media station.
Hurricane Debbie is hitting Florida. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The eye came ashore about an hour ago in the Big Bend region.
This is the kind of pelting rain that we were concerned about.
Fox Weather's Robert Ray in the middle of the storm.
Stand by.
He's outside in Perry, Florida.
That's a big wind, some big rain, and the rain hurts. It's just pelting. And when it hits the face, and I got the helmet because these are the kind of winds that can remove debris from buildings and structures. We can hear aluminum in the distance breaking off. The power keeps going in and out.
There are more than 200,000 power outages so far in Florida. Hurricane Debbie's full of rain, and it'll slow down as it moves inland. Up to 2 feet of rain could fall from North Florida to Georgia to South Carolina. Israel's bracing for an attack from Iran or its militant proxies in the region days after the bombing in Iran killed Hamas's political leader.
Israel is taking steps to prepare for a prolonged conflict, as reports indicate the initial Iranian response could come in waves and include extensive missile and drone attacks. A document sent to mayors of northern cities told officials to prepare for water outages, power cuts, and evacuations. And in Jerusalem, an underground command bunker for government officials was opened by the Shin Bet security agency.
Fox's Trey Ingston, Haifa, Israel. There could be another huge sell-off on Wall Street. Dow futures are down more than 800 points on top of Friday's big losses that have sent stocks falling worldwide. Japan's Nikkei took a 12% nosedive overnight.
That's its worst plunge since Black Monday in 1987, 37 years ago. Behind all of this, fears of recession stoked by a poor employment report Friday.
Fox Business Network's Jerry Willis. We just got a Simone Biles update at the Olympics. The Americans won 3 golds in Paris, but today she missed out on a medal in the balance beam, finishing 5th. The U.S. leads the Olympic medal count with 72. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
NYPD officer Jonathan Diller's tragic story made national headlines this year. Now, Jonathan was shot and killed by a career criminal during a traffic stop. Jonathan, who's just 31 years old, leaves behind his wife Stephanie and 1-year-old son Ryan. Now, nothing will ever replace the loss of a husband and a father, but the Tunnel to Towers Foundation was able to pay off the mortgage on the Diller family's home. Please commit to $11 a month. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Now that she has the delegate support to be the Democratic presidential nominee, Vice President Harris is expected to pick her running mate before rallying with that VP choice tomorrow in Philadelphia. And that is something that continues to be a focus at the White House.
There are plenty of names being floated around out there, including Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, a handful of different governors, including Governor Pritzker of Illinois, Governor Beshear of Kentucky, Governor Shapiro of Pennsylvania, and Governor Walz of Minnesota.
That's Fox's Mark Meredith at the White House. The vice president met with several of her potential VP nominees yesterday and is continuing to go through the vetting process before making that announcement and then going out for several different rallies in several states in the coming days. Political upheaval in Bangladesh. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has resigned, and she fled the Asian country today after weeks of protests against a government jobs quota system got violent with nearly 100 people killed. Boeing is going to be under more scrutiny this week into the incident that put the airplane makers manufacturing under the microscope. That door plug blowout on an Alaska Airlines flight in January.
A hearing beginning tomorrow will feature sworn testimony on the matter and will become part of the public record. The flight was scheduled to go from Portland, Oregon to Ontario International Airport in California on January 5th of this year when the incident happened. All of the 177 crew and passengers on board the Boeing 737 MAX 9 survived. 8 had minor injuries. In a preliminary report, the NTSB said 4 key bolts were missing from the door. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
At the movies, Deadpool and Wolverine set a record, topping the box office for a second straight week with another $97 million. Its total now surpasses Passion of the Christ for the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 8:05. I'm Andrew Dominio. Right now we have clear skies and 70 degrees. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. A West Winfield man is dead and his wife is in critical condition after being hit by a falling tree while leaving an Airbnb in Wyoming County. The Wyoming County Sheriff's Office says they received calls about a tree on a house with 2 people trapped just after 10 a.m. Friday in the town of Castile. The occupants, 77-year-old David Denham and 77-year-old Linda Denham, both of West Winfield, were rescued from the debris by firefighters. David was rushed to Wyoming County Community Hospital, where he died from his injuries. Linda was flown to Strong Memorial in Rochester with serious injuries. For the second time in 1 month's time, 2 teens were injured, one seriously after their buggy was struck by a pickup truck. New York State Police say just before 2 p.m. Friday afternoon, a pickup truck driven by 33-year-old Alexander Fendler of Constableville struck a buggy on Route 26 in Ava. A 14-year-old girl and 16-year-old boy were ejected from the buggy in the accident. The 16-year-old was transported to Upstate Medical Center with serious injuries, while the 14-year-old was transported to Wynn and later released. The driver of the truck was not injured. The accident remains under investigation. For many residents in South Rome, the EF2 tornado that struck the city nearly 2 weeks ago was unlike anything they've seen before, and the recovery is continuing. The funding from the state was announced last week in the amount of $2 million, and more recovery is planned. Hopefully, the road to recovery is an easy one for those impacted by that devastating storm. Speaking of storms, central New York will start Monday with some sunshine, but showers and storms are expected to move in by midday and continue through the evening. These storms could produce damaging winds and large hail and heavy rain. Highs will reach the mid-80s with high humidity. A cold front will follow, bringing cooler and less humid air starting Tuesday, with a significant drop in temperature expected midweek. And a Southern California town was the hottest city in the U.S. in July. That's according to the Climate Office at Arizona State University, which found that Needles ranked as the warmest city. It averaged a temperature of 103.2 degrees between June 30th and July 30th. Less than 5,000 permanent residents live in Needles, which lies on the border between California and Arizona. Blythe and Palm Springs were the 2 other cities in the Golden State that averaged more than 100 degrees in July. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 8:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. For today, we will expect mostly sunny skies, otherwise a chance of rain and thunderstorms, highs in the mid to upper 80s. Chance of rain and thunderstorms overnight, cloudy otherwise with a low in the lower 60s. Then tomorrow, a decent day, partly sunny with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Right now, we're at an even 70 degrees under mostly clear skies. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time, 8:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43, local contractors. The Yankees claimed their series against the Blue Jays in style following a 4-3 walk-off win in extra innings from the Bronx. DJ LeMahieu stepped up in the bottom of the 10th and laced a single to score the game-winning run. Mark Leiter Jr. earned the win in relief as New York has won 7 of 8 to stay second in the AL East. They'll host the Angels tomorrow night. And there was a little bit of an extension on that game, a little bit less than a 2-hour rain delay. Saw Clay Holmes sit his butt down, and Mark Leiter came in, thank goodness, because Mello, he's dangerous. I never get comfortable when I see him warming up in the bullpen.
No, it's just there's no. I don't have any confidence in him. So
no, I don't know why. Oh, and the other interesting part about yesterday's game, Boone gets thrown out, ejected, because he said the pitch was low. I mean, he simply said that's low, and the ump threw him out, and it was low.
It's going to happen, yeah.
Then the next batter, it was even lower in the dirt, basically, and he called it a strike, and the hitting coach got thrown out. So 2 ejections from the Yankees coaching staff in yesterday's game.
They won. Maybe there should be more. So
listen, anytime Boone's not in the dugout. Who's the bench coach there that fills in when he gets thrown out?
Brad Osmus.
Yeah, I like him.
I'd like to know your opinion. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Gleyber Torres when he pulled him.
Oh, I didn't watch that game.
I didn't. I heard about it. Yeah.
I wasn't watching that game, but listen,
there was a discussion. I seen they were talking. Finally, Gleyber just wasn't getting anywhere, and he just walked away. So I don't know.
He did come and speak to the media immediately after the game, taking full responsibility for his actions. Definitely saying, that he apologized and that he's, he took full responsibility for his actions, as he should. But Gleyber Torres is not the Gleyber Torres of late or past. He's not hustling, and I don't know. Is that a product of Boone? Like, do people not respect him enough?
I think so.
Does his team not want to play up for him? I mean,
there's certainly something going on there, and where's this leadership that's supposed to be Aaron Judge? I mean, how do you? Okay, he's having a great year, but the team's not, and this is where captains come in, and they may have to not be the manager, but act like one on occasion, just to try to get his team going.
It's from the top down, and
I'm not impressed with anything that's been going on there. Since 2009, that's a long time to be really, really competitive, and you got players making all this money, and there was a sign for a early season that they were going to bring it all together, but
that's been the last 2 seasons. They start off strong, and then post All-Star break, And here's the thing, and a lot of people have talked to me about this, and I happen to agree. The difference between George and Hale, as long as the seats are full and the checks get paid and the money gets made, he doesn't care.
Doesn't care. Hal Steinbrenner, compared to his father, totally different management style. I mean,
without a doubt.
I mean, George was there about the fans. He was there about winning, and at all costs. Didn't matter.
100%.
And that's not the case anymore. So
it is not. Well, anyway, we could go on forever, but we do have other sports to get to, like the Mets dropping their series to the Angels, as they're going to stick around New York for the Yankees series, following a 3-2 loss in the finale from Anaheim. So they were out in California, and now they're coming to the East Coast. Francisco Lindor and Harrison Bader drove in 2 runs. Jose Quintana got the loss after giving up all 3 runs on 3 hits over 5 innings. New York has lost 3 of their last 5 to remain third in the NL East. They'll visit the Cardinals tonight in a makeup game. Meanwhile, NFL preseason action is underway, and the Jets think their star quarterback can turn back the clock this season. Head coach Robert Saleh told the media Saturday Aaron Rodgers looks like he never missed any time. After a 90-minute scrimmage, the 40-year-old is coming off a season-ending Achilles tear just 4 plays into the gangrene premiere last year. Saleh says the Super Bowl winning quarterback is unlikely to play in the preseason. And Team USA, the U.S. have increased their medal lead at the Paris Olympics with 10 more medals on Sunday. Team USA has now won 71 total medals, including 19 gold, which is tied with China for the most gold, or China. The Chinese are now second in the overall standings with 45 medals, followed by France with 44. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 8:14. Coming up, we'll speak with Oneida County Sheriff Rob Mayshiel. A number of motor vehicle accidents, very serious motor vehicle accidents in the county in the last month or so. What is the reason for it? What can people do to keep their eyes peeled on the road and not be distracted? Also, the issue of Amish buggy-involved accidents becoming an increasing issue as well. We'll talk to him about that and much more coming up on First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Utica in the Mohawk Valley, the back-to-school blowout has begun at Mattress Express. We know this economy poses challenges to many of you, so take up to 60 months to pay with no money down for anything in the store for qualified buyers. See store for details. We have no credit check payment plans as well. No one else has all the brands under one roof in New York State that Mattress Express has. And right now, get up to a $300 prepaid Visa card on select Tempur-Pedic King and Queen sets, $200 on Stearns & Foster, $100 on Sealy. If you've ever thought of getting a bed where you can make each side soft and firm and pick your number on each set, we have the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort. Shop ours first. Compare the price. Compare the features. A reversible cover, cool for summer, warm for winter. The Flex setting, King or Queen. A 25-year industry-leading warranty. And you get a $750 prepaid Visa card and 5 years, no interest, no money down for qualified buyers. Go to mattressexpressny.com for locations. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS or just stop in.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a premium freeze-dried raw dog food designed to support your dog's health, happiness, and lifespan. Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of cod Crispies. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511.
Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee.
All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for the past 52 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantique.com.
Having chest pain is frightening. Believe me, I know. Am I having a heart attack? I'm short of breath. What's happening? This is Dr. Fred Tellerico. I'm a cardiologist, chief medical officer at the Wynn Hospital, and also a cardiac patient. And I can tell you firsthand that our dedicated staff, along with the physicians and mid-level providers of Central New York Cardiology, provide the quality care required in treating all aspects of heart disease. With our emergency department and EMS partners, we also offer the best treatment for acute cardiac emergencies, including angioplasty for those suffering from a heart attack, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the hospital being brand new, we are able to employ the most up-to-date expertise and technology. Our facility is only one of 2 hospitals statewide honored by the American College of Cardiology with the prestigious award of being a quality heart care center. Our patients at the Wynn can be assured that we want what is best for them. We are a small community, and you are our neighbors, our friends, and even family members. We take this personally and are dedicated to providing you the quality care you need.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Keeler in the Morning invites you to connect with us through telephonic communication at 315-736-0186 or use the Call Us button on the WIBX 950 app. For additional contact methodologies, please refer to WIBX950.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
First news, Keeler in the Morning on a Monday. Good to be back and happy to have our man Mello Testa.
Great to be here.
Co-hosting this morning in my chair where I usually sit, and you're doing a very good job.
Not a bad view.
And hopefully I'm doing okay here filling in for Bill, who is still on vacation, much needed, and we'll have him back a little bit later in the week. Davey's going on vacation. So this is the time of year. People are going away for vacations, rightfully so. It's well-deserved. So Smitty will have one more day with us, and then he'll be off to beautiful, scenic Lake George for a couple days. So I hope you enjoy your time off as you were here kind of helping us hold down the fort as Bill and I were away last week.
Yep.
It's definitely good to be back. I woke up this morning at 5 a.m. for the first time in a long time thinking, am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to remember all the buttons and all the switches and everything? And so far, so good.
Smitty's got your back. He's got everyone's back.
Thank you, Mello. Thank you very much.
You were the glue.
The glue that holds it together, right?
I can see that even from a distance. I can see it.
Thank you.
Coming up, we'll speak with Sheriff Rob Maciel. He is making his way in the studio. He'll be here in just a little bit. But if you want to leave a comment on the app, you can do so, or call us up 315-736-0186. Give us your thoughts on anything that's going on in the community or what's on your mind. Feel free to share it. This is Kevin in Utica. Wanted to thank Mello for being a positive force in our community. I think everybody agrees with that. Monica and I had a wonderful time at his birthday party.
Oh, yes.
Which was
they did.
Unfortunately happening when I was in Florida, and I was so sad to miss it, but I lived vicariously through all the wonderful photos that were shared on social media. It looks like it was a great time, so I was sorry to miss it, but
yeah, it really was. I mean, it's okay. My family wanted to know, okay, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I said this that night. I said, I just want to see people smile and have fun. And we had a lot of people there.
Yeah, it was a good time.
My grandchildren they're everything to me. They're my world. They're my life. They're my everything. Just got a text from my daughter that my youngest grandson, Johnny, he's here as grandpa, maybe radio, TV, whatever, and they hear me. So
it's good they're listening.
I'll be there shortly and have that golf cart ready because we'll go back to the park. That's what we do now. I told people that. Living across the street from that park, I grew up there.
Yeah.
And I spent all my childhood there. And I say this now, and I said it to other people, that I really didn't go there with my kids. I really didn't experience it the way I am now with my grandchildren. And it's a phenomenal time, and it's just we have so much fun. There's so many things to do there, and they're experiencing things for the first time, and I'm there with them, and it's going to be a lasting memory.
Well, I know my parents and my bride-to-be's parents are definitely eager to get grandchildren, but we're telling them, slow down a little bit. Give us a little time here.
Well, we were anxious. I mean, we got married young. Actually, it'll be 50 years next year.
Wow, that'll be a celebration.
Well, it's actually on my birthday, so so what do we do next year? At the top? Well, we'll do something. But we got married young, had children young, but they didn't start paying dividends until later, and I'm glad they did. It's just beautiful. I mean, my family just brings just so much happiness.
Yeah, that's what everybody says that I talk to who has grandchildren. It's a whole different world and a different experience.
It really is. And to have 4 of the 6 living right on the compound, right there on the same street, it's just they're there every morning, first thing. And who's going to wake up Grandpa? Who's going to be the first one to wake him up? And
you're up early anyway.
If they're not sleeping there,
exactly,
which they are.
Yeah. So a few other news stories in the world of showbiz to get into before we have Sheriff Maciel in studio. Big news over the weekend: Aerosmith was forced to cancel their Peace Out final tour due to Steven Tyler's severe vocal cord injury last year. I don't know how he has any vocal cords after
how they do that, what they do. Yeah.
The way he sings. The band says that full recovery is not possible, and we have made the heartbreaking and difficult but necessary decision as the band of brothers to retire from touring. Here's Steven and the band live in concert during What It Takes from their 1998 album, A Little South of Sanity. Just to give you a little idea.
Girlfriend, there's another diamond ring, and all those late night promises, I guess they don't mean a thing.
Great voice, Steven Tyler. It's truly incredible. He did a little country music too there for a while, but it's definitely hard to, a lot of these artists.
I've seen that now. I mean,
it's tough, right?
It really is tough. I mean, down in Florida where we spend our winter, there's a lot of these bands that have been around for 40 years. They're down there and they're still performing there may be one or two original members. The rest are all, younger people. And it's still a thrill to see them because it brings me back. But sometimes it's hard to watch too, if they just can't catch that note. They just can't. They just can't get that.
Or they don't move the way they.
Oh, they're definitely not moving the way they are. But,
although the Rolling Stones, they still move. That's a whole other story.
There's something else there going on. I don't know.
They made some kind of deal with the devil. It must be.
No, it's
one of the disappointing things for me was I wanted to see, and I think I even had tickets. Was Huey Lewis and the News, and they were frequent guests at the Turning Stone Resort Casino, and I think unfortunately he ran into an issue with his hearing, where he was not able to tour anymore. So, it's just one of those things where, as these great acts
poor Phil Collins. I mean, come on, it just stops. That's it. You're done.
And in some cases they have to. They have to perform because of maybe past financial decisions that didn't go so well, or past marriages that didn't quite work out, and all that comes to roost.
But there comes a time when enough's enough.
Enough is enough, right? Well, I do believe the sheriff is making his way here shortly, and Smitty, is line 2 somebody to take? No? Okay. Well, we'll take a quick break here, and when we come back, I think we'll be joined by Oneida County Sheriff Rob Mayshiel. He's making his way in studio. We have a lot to talk to him about as far as safety on the roadways, and how there have been at least it seems, a significant increase in fatal accidents, near fatal accidents, and accidents involving our brothers and sisters in the Amish community. So definitely want to stay mindful on the roadways. And of course, it is the season where the tractors are out. And Sheriff Mayshiel is not only our sheriff, but he is one of our local farmers.
Yes, he is.
So we'll speak to him coming up on First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
I don't like onions. I'm doing paleo. Do they have gluten-free bagels? You can't juggle every food request for a work event, or can you? EasyCater is the all-in-one tech platform that makes it easy to get restaurant catering for work, with options for any group's size, taste, dietary preference, or budget. EasyCater saves your favorite restaurants and orders, which makes reordering a snap. Need to modify an order? No problem. So when it comes to food for work, make it easy on yourself with EasyCater. Start your order at easycater.com.
This is Bill Cole from Gates Cole Insurance. Finding insurance coverage can be an overwhelming undertaking. As your local independent insurance company, we work hard for you to get the best coverage.
My name is Timothy Dean. I'm from Tabor, New York. I have Dean's Concessions. I travel throughout New York State. I have been a customer for over 20 years, personal, with Gates Cole. And ever since I've started my business for the last 18 years have been solely with Gates Cole Insurance. As I have to call them from time to time to get certificates, and they take in within 15-20 minutes. We have a certificate. Gates Cole has exceptional customer service. They're there for you, and I have referred people to Gates Cole, and those people that have transferred over to Gates Cole have been very happy with their services.
This is Tom Cole. For insurance for your home, auto, business, and just about everything else, trust your local independent insurance agency. Gates Cole Insurance, we'll take care of you.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you gotta hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe, and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Boom, ba-doo-doo. Good morning. First news, Keeler in the morning. It is a Monday. We're back. Some people are happy about that. Some people are not. Before we go to the sheriff, we have Jake from Utica on the line right now for Mello. Jake, good morning. What do you got?
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Mr. Testa, I got a question for you.
Okay.
When the old years ago, now I worked for the county too, Park Ave.
Yep.
When the old Yankee Stadium was being knocked down,
yes.
Did you or did you not take a chair?
No, actually, I took a seat from the 1977 World Series.
How cool is
when Reggie
that?
Jackson hit the 3 home runs, I was at that game, and I left with my seat.
Just took it and picked it up, huh?
Still have it.
That's so cool.
And 20 years after that, in 1997, I went to Atlantic City, and I had every Yankee from that team autograph that seat. And the only autographs I don't have is Thurman Munson and Billy Martin because they both passed away. But I have every other autograph of the players and coaches on that seat.
Oh my God, that is awesome!
It's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, it was the anniversary.
That's memorabilia, big time.
Big time, especially with the autographs. And it was actually over the weekend that we had the unfortunate anniversary of the passing of Thurman Munson in that plane crash.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize he was not in the Hall of Fame.
No, he's not. He's not. He should have been, but
he should be.
There's a lot of people. The career was shortened through his death, but one thing about that seat, we talked about Steinbrenner earlier. The following day in the newspaper, there was 1,400 seats taken from that stadium that night. 7 people were arrested. I wasn't one of them. But the quote from Steinbrenner the next day is, "Let them go. I'd rather lose a few seats than a few fans." And
he was good.
And that told me that I was okay with that seat. So. Right, Sheriff?
Was it in your limitations is gone.
Yeah, that's what Mike Arcuri said years ago.
Mello.
Yes.
Didn't you have that seat in your office too once?
Oh yeah, it's my office was a shrine, and many people came there to do business, but they really just wanted to come into my office to see what I had, and
that's Andrew. Wow.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good piece of memorabilia to have. A good piece of history.
I had a lot there. Yeah.
All right.
All them autographs. Oh my God.
All right, Jake. Well, don't get any ideas there, man. All right.
I know it. Have a good day, guys.
All right, Jake. Thank you so much.
Bye now.
All right, Jake in Utica. And in our studio right now, good morning, Sheriff Rob Maciel.
Good morning. So that 1977 game, I was 9 years old then, just to put things in perspective. So.
All right, over there.
Well, tickets were only $4.50 for the World Series.
Oh, my gosh.
Well,
for the World Series.
Yeah, we paid $11 each for a ticket. So, yeah.
Wow.
To see a game like that.
That's not the case anymore. That's not the case anymore.
You can't get a hot dog for that. So.
No, actually, I think it was the first year I was sheriff, 2011 or maybe 2012. I went to a Colorado Rockies game. I was at training for the National Sheriff's Association for new sheriffs. And we actually paid $5 to get into a Colorado Rockies game, but I think we were the only ones in the.
Well,
in the
they can't give away tickets for that game. So we're happy to have the sheriff in, and I think we were supposed to have you on Friday, but I decided to take an extra day because it's hard to come back on a Friday when you've been away for a week.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that,
but I didn't, which is what. But here you are today. It seems to be, and again, I don't know if the numbers are normal or if it's been an increase this year, but there seems to be a dramatic increase in the amount of motor vehicle accidents, fatal motor vehicle or near fatal motor vehicle accidents in our county.
I mean, statistically, we're a little bit ahead. It's not off the charts ahead.
Yeah.
But obviously, a couple things stand out. Just like I think I was in here probably a few months ago talking about domestic violence. Our numbers were pretty consistent with previous years, but we see a lot more violence in the domestics. We see more strangulations. We see more. So it's almost like the accidents. The numbers are pretty consistent. Like I said, a little bit of a bump, but we're seeing more severe accidents, more severe injury. But, social media adds to that because you're getting instant reporting now. We have 2 helicopter services in Oneida County, which we never had before. So you're hearing helicopters being called to an accident to get patients to the hospital quicker, which we never had before. And that's a great thing. But, yeah, I mean, and again, like the last 5 years, the trend of the 2 main reasons for motor vehicle accidents, 2 main reasons, speeding is taking the number 1 seat and distracted driving is taking the second. And those 2 things, they're deadly combinations. And we're also seeing, if you look at the ages, and I don't want to talk about any specific accident, but the most recent serious accidents that we've had and other agencies have had involving 16 and 17-year-olds. So I think parents really need to make sure that their kids are truly ready to be out on their own. Yeah, they legally can drive at that age, and they've gone through the process of getting their license. But people really need to get some time under their belt, and I don't think they understand sometimes understand how powerful that machine is that they're driving, and the damage and injury that it can cause if you're not able to control that.
And you talk about the big machine they're driving. The other machine they're operating is the tiny machine in their hand, and I think there's really that's the prime age for 16 and 17-year-old. They're on their phones constantly, and when you pair those 3 things together, the car, the cell phone, and the teen, it could be a dangerous combination.
My wife and I yesterday, we were going to an event actually in New York Mills, and we had a near miss on a turn. We were watching it coming, so I was able to stop. But an individual in a small car trying to beat a red light, obviously, it was yellow, going to be red shortly. High rate of speed, making a left turn off a 4-lane onto a 2-lane.
Oh boy!
You could almost see it, not on 2 wheels, but it certainly looked close enough to be up on 2 wheels while they had their phone in their hand, because we were behind them, and you could see them just looking at their phone with one hand. They were texting while they were driving, and I mean, just. Again, that is clearly an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, I see that a lot driving as I do, and you can see other cars, what they're doing, and their eyes are not even on the road. They're on some type of device, not necessarily a phone anymore, because they put all these features in these vehicles now where you can that your screen in front of you is a major distraction.
Exactly.
And that's a scary thing. I mean,
it's literally your eyes are off the road. You are for 7 to 8 to 9 seconds, you are not looking at the road in front of you.
And look how reliant we've become now on backup cameras in some of the higher end cars, even when you're going forward, and you get the aerial view of your car too.
Yes.
So instead of looking out the windshield and your mirrors, you're now looking at the screen. To your point, Andrew, it only takes a couple seconds, you know, and it's just whether it be motorcycles, I mean, the speed,
that's a big one.
Is just incredible. These crotch rockets. I mean, why people want to go 125 miles an hour, and then on the flip side, we have the slow moving vehicle issue. We've had 2 serious Amish accidents, one that the sheriff's office investigated, one the state police investigated, both serious injuries to the occupants of the buggy. Now, there are people that think that the buggies don't belong on the road, but at the end of the day, they are 100% legally allowed to travel on our roadways. And certainly, yes, they have a responsibility. They've got to be properly marked. But again, when you're going up a 3-lane highway in a motor vehicle at a high rate of speed, unsafe passing, it doesn't matter whether that buggy's got a slow-moving triangle on the back or not. You're going to run into it, just because by the time you see that buggy, your brain can't tell your foot to hit the brake pedal. So, and people really, I think we've lost patience. There's no patience out there. There's a disregard for any of the laws. So it's a lot of things that come together and just give us what we're seeing right now in the news nearly every single day.
That Route 12 North accident, which was the first of the Amish buggy accidents. Can you give any update on that?
I don't have any updates on the conditions of the victims. But again, that was a situation where the buggy was in the slow-moving lane where it should have been. There were 2 other cars occupying the middle and left lane, and an individual in the middle lane wanted to pass, couldn't pass on the left, so they passed on the right. And as soon as they moved into that right lane, boom, there was the buggy. And again, should the buggy have been there? Well, the law allows them to be, so we can't argue that point at this, at this venture. But like I said, people just really got to slow down because, again, there are slow-moving vehicles which legally can be out there. Myself, just last week, had a near mishap going from my farm to one of my hay fields that we rent. I'm on my big tractor, my baler, and hay wagon, so I'm long. This thing that I'm pulling is extremely long. Had to pull into a field, so I'm veering to the left so that I can make the wide turn. Now, there's no directional signals on a hay wagon, but there is the slow-moving emblem on the back. But as I'm veering left to pull into the field, an individual in a pickup truck, going fast, came right up on my right-hand side in the front of his pickup truck, met the front right tire of my tractor. No collision, but I'm like...
Oh, boy.
I mean, if there was a collision, sadly, I would have been at fault because I'm actually in the wrong lane, but I have no choice. I have to turn wide.
You have to negotiate that turn.
Yeah, but it's just the point where just, especially when you're in the rural parts, people have to take a few seconds and just, be patient.
That's why, I've just this year got back on my road bike, and my fiance is like a nervous wreck because, she's like, just be careful. In my usual route, because we live in North Utica, I'll go up Cosby Manor Road and take Cosby Manor Road, and you think, it's not too bad of a drive, but I mean, even on that road, people just fly, and they, it's a matter of, it's talking about distracted driving. To see me on a bike, I'm a big guy, but to see me on a bike when you're looking down at your phone for 2 seconds, it's not a realm of possibility.
Like you said, it's all it takes.
Yep, we saw an individual yesterday, a guy on a beautiful motorcycle. I commented to him. We met in the parking lot of Stewart's how nice his bike was. He had his young child with him. He's probably 6 or 7, the little boy. They had, he was out riding with his dad, and we talked about how he's so careful and he's got a beautiful bike, but he worries all the time because it's everyone else that you got to watch out for.
It's not always and I've talked to motorcycle riders about that. Like why do you still get on it? And they love it so much, but it's not the person on the motorcycle sometimes. And sometimes it is. Like you say, these individuals
younger drivers,
zooming in and out of lanes on these crotch rockets at 120.
Pulling wheelies.
Yeah. A lot of people are just got to be, mindful of the other drivers on the road.
And I know in the cities, not just Utica, but Rome and cities across the state, one of the biggest things we've been dealing with this summer, constant complaints are young teens on whether it be four-wheelers or ATVs or mini bikes.
Just take over the road.
Just taking the roads over, harassing people on the roadways.
I see that.
It's a situation that, is just unfortunate. There's laws, obviously, that prohibit it, but the police, we're not going to get into a high-speed chase with a 14-year-old kid on a mini bike because that's going to end tragically, and then the police are the bad guys. But at the same time, we've got to try to curtail that because it's just terrorizing. So talk about a quality of life issue. You're in a neighborhood and you've got these loud, because they modify the exhaust to make them real loud.
It's not just one. They travel in packs.
Exactly.
And in Utica, right in the city.
Absolutely. No, I've seen it.
No lights at night. No, nothing. Just all you hear is here they come.
So obviously the local municipalities have ordinances where they can seize these bikes. So we're trying to work with a couple of them to come up with a plan.
In Rome, they've done that.
To utilize our drone unit to assist those local agencies to try to find the the place where these vehicles are coming out of, so we can seize them and get them off the roads.
Well, I think it's greatly appreciated that you came on this morning to talk about I think we all just need the constant reminder to pay attention on the roadway. I even find myself sometimes guilty of it. I almost got to the point where I put my phone in the passenger side door, so I don't even have access to it to reach for it when I'm on the roadways. I think everybody's just got to stay mindful and stay safe. And watch out for tractors, Amish buggies, motorcycles, everything on the roadways.
Just take a few minutes, take a deep breath. I know it's tough to tell people, but leave a few minutes early and, be courteous. We could. I think we all can agree we need a little more love out there in society, and we'd be in a much better place.
It would certainly help.
Agreed. I think we can all agree on that. Well, Sheriff Mace, you'll stick around.
Sure,
we're going to be coming up.
absolutely.
We got to break quickly, but coming up, we'll speak with Senator Joe Griffo. Some tremendous losses last week. Not only did Senator James Seward pass away after his long battle with cancer, but a local county legislator, Brenda McGonigal, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I apologize if I'm not, tragically passing away from cancer. 2 local officials, public servants passing away far too soon. We'll speak with Senator Griffo about the life and legacy of Senator James Seward coming up on First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley, take up to 60 months to pay with no money down at Mattress Express on anything in the store for qualified buyers. See store for details. Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus in New Hartford, in Oneida, and the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Are you ready to smell better naked? I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the OBGYN creator of Lumi, the whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, and beyond. It's pH optimized to safely and effectively control odor anywhere you have it, but wish you didn't. Plus, it's proven to work better than a shower with soap alone. Whether you shower twice a day or 3 times a week, Lumi works better. And who doesn't want zero body odor? With over 200,000 5-star reviews, I'm so sure you're going to love it, or you can return it for free.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code BETTER and get 15% off your first purchase with code BETTER, like the Lumi Starter Pack, Acidified Body Wash, or new Lumi Plus Sweat Control. That's LUME deodorant.com, code BETTER for 15% off your first purchase. Love it or return it for free. That's LUME deodorant.com, code BETTER to save 15% today.
This is Keeler in the morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
In the home stretch here, First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. I want to thank my man Mello Testa, who has been phenomenal in the role of co-host this morning.
Geez, I don't know about that.
We thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. And Sheriff Mayshield joining us as well. Always a pleasure from your busy schedule. Had some really good steak sandwiches yesterday.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
By the way, I was at Mello's birthday party. That is by far the best birthday party I have ever been to. Whether it be the food, the entertainment, the people. He even had my favorite drink there because I'm an Arnold Palmer guy, and he had a cooler just for me on the side with Arnold Palmer.
Go.
And I finished what you didn't drink. How about that parking spot you got?
Awesome. Best parking spot in the house.
They took care of you, right?
They saved it for me. I turned the corner. He had people waiting for me. They directed me right in. I'm like, wow,
I still don't know how you fit in that.
It just barely fit.
Yeah. One person who was maybe happy with his parking spot, I don't know, was Senator Griffo. I mean, Senator Griffo.
Oh, yes.
I missed one heck of a party in that I was in Florida, unfortunately. I would have loved to have been there, but I hear it was a great time to celebrate Mello.
Great celebration, Mel. I didn't get that special spot like the sheriff, but I walked because I'm looking to exercise.
I've known you longer, so that's why.
Gave me a little longer walk, but I need the exercise. But it was a great party, and Mello just has done so much for this community, and the shirt he wore that day says it all. He's got a guy, you know what I mean? When you got an issue, you go to Mello. Mello knows where to go to get it done, and Mello was my department head as county executive. He was my purchasing agent. He's an extraordinary public servant, but more importantly, he's an exceptional guy and a great family. So
thank you, Senator.
I'm honored to be there, and happy birthday. Stay well, Mello.
Thank you.
I think we can all agree on that, and it definitely showed with the people that have come out. And you're somebody who is retired, but really not. You continue to stay involved.
I retired from government service, but wait, there's going to be more, so stick around.
I know. He's never finished. He's never finished.
I got to see if the sheriff can give me a few lights to use in the car, because it's getting tougher and tougher to get from destination to destination on time, you know. So I like to stay behind the sheriff. You get there quickly.
Yeah, he needs an escort, Sheriff, is what he's saying.
He can't keep up with me. No, I'm just kidding. He does pretty good. I try to give him an escort wherever I can go. So,
well, talk about a long life of service. I want to say I apologize that I butchered her name. Brenda McMonigal, passing away, Oneida County legislator in the Rome area, longtime employee with AmeriQ, and serving her community. Far too young, passing away. Our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to her family, but also Senator Jim Seward. Senator Griffo, talk about Senator Seward and his life of service for the great state of New York.
Yeah, it was a tough week. I attended funeral services for Brenda McMonigal, and she has an outstanding family, and I know they're going through a lot at this point in time, facing a lot of challenges, facing the grief. She was a young person, and just a super individual, pleasant, smiling, really cared about her community. So that was a very tragic end there, and fighting that deadly disease that Senator Seward also had to fight. And that's why we need to continue to do everything we can with research and resources to fight cancer. And Senator Seward's service was, while it was a sorrowful event, it was also a celebration of life and an opportunity for some of my colleagues who were there. I was honored to be asked to speak at his service. It was very well attended on a Saturday morning in Oneonta, but it was a real tribute to Jim. We called him Gentleman Jim because he truly was a gentleman and likable, talented, and really dedicated to the community over 30 years plus in the Senate. He was a mentor and a friend to me, just an extraordinary life. And again, this terrible disease has just taken too many good people.
Now, Senator Seward was somebody who, like yourself, you have a reputation for, putting your foot down when necessary and standing up for your side of the aisle, but was able to work with both sides of the aisle. Talk about how he was able to earn that respect and that relationship to work with everybody in Albany.
Well, Senator assembled a great staff, and they, as I had said earlier, really cared about the community. So he became a fierce advocate. While he was a gentle person, he would fight vigorously for the communities that he represented. One of the jokes we quipped about over even at the ceremony was that when they had the regional economic development councils and Governor Cuomo established all those regions, Jim represented so many. At one point on stage, I turned to the governor and said, "Seward's here more than you are." He goes, "I know." He said he was up there for every picture that they were taking because he represented all these different regions, the many counties that he has serviced. And he did that, as I said, with real passion and energy. And he worked across the aisle, and he had that type of respect. And as I said, he's a mentor to me, and we've tried to emulate a lot of that. And that was evident at the funeral service. Senator Breslin, who was his ranker when Senator Seward chaired the Insurance Committee of the Senate, Breslin was the ranker, and then when Breslin became chairman, Seward was ranking with him. So they had developed a very good relationship and rapport, and that was evident throughout all the Senate, not just in that particular committee.
Yeah.
And again, it speaks volumes about who he was as a person. And again, you sacrifice a lot when you do this. When you take on, and Mello knows this, the sheriff knows, when you take on public service, there are a lot of things you miss because if you do it the way you need to and should, that takes a lot of time and effort.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Does, yes.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you certainly taking the time this morning to remember a great man, a great senator, a great public servant, and I know he was, above all, a very good friend of yours. So we really do appreciate you taking the time this morning to speak a little bit to his legacy and also Brenda's as well.
Very good, and take care. Welcome back, Andrew, and look forward to the two of you. When's your sidekick come back?
Well, he'll be back later this week. He's still on his much-needed vacation, but I've got a great slew of co-hosts, and Mello has done a phenomenal job this morning, so I thank him.
Thank you.
You guys take care, and happy birthday again, Mello.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much. All right.
All right. Thank you, Senator Joe Griffo. Appreciate you taking the time this morning. All right, Senator Joe Griffo. I wanted to end with a couple of questions for you, Sheriff. I'm glad you're still here. Our man Lance and Lee. Lance, good morning. Hope you've had a good week. Hope you're doing well. He's chiming in on the app this morning. A couple of things. Please ask the sheriff, aren't elderly people that drive 40 and a 55 more dangerous than someone going 65 and a 55?
I don't know if they're more dangerous. They could be dangerous. I mean, obviously, if there's no one else on the road, you can go as slow as you want. It's when you're impeding the flow of traffic where it becomes a concern. Obviously, there is a violation in a traffic law for operating a vehicle too slow, but again, you'd have to look at the circumstances behind that. I don't know as though 40 to 55, that's a problem.
Yes.
But again,
especially for my blood pressure,
you find a spot where you can legally and safely pass, and you do that. Unlike some people who just pass wherever and whatever they want to do.
I know, and the whole other topic that we discussed already is the past school buses. We don't have time to get into that. How frustrating that is.
I don't know as though there's ever been an accident that I'm aware of. I'm sure there have been. I'm not saying there's not, but I don't know of any accident. And I've been around 35 years where it's been caused by someone driving too slow. So,
yeah.
But on the flip side, it's the opposite for driving too fast.
Correct. And then he added, here in Lee, the Amish are a huge presence. Most residents are used to sharing the roads with them. Route 26 is an awful dangerous road for buggy travel, and I think that is where
that's where the most recent accident was that the state
happened,
police handled 26 and actually in Ava, not far from there, but an individual in a pickup truck rear-ended an Amish. They're calling it a buggy. It was actually a hay loader with steel wheels, and the impact of the collision not only destroyed the piece of Amish equipment, but it also put the truck on its roof too. So
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
not good. I had photos of that. That's pretty powerful photos.
Unfortunate as well that at least in the instance on Route 12 North that the horse passed away.
Yes,
it's always
and
I'm, as a lover of animals too. I mean the children were seriously injured, and we hope their recovery is quick and full. But always sad when you see an animal pass away.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. I mean, we have a lot of Amish neighbors right where I live. Actually, we have a phone at our farm in the old milk house that about 8 Amish families use a phone at our place, and because they can't have their own. But one of the families is actually leaving and moving to Kansas because of the traffic. They found a farm in Kansas that's pretty much a dirt road, the whole community, and they just said it's so dangerous here. We're having near misses nearly every single day.
Yeah. Well, we want to, just be mindful of our Amish brothers and sisters on the roadways. They're our neighbors, and they're a viable part of our community. A lot of the time,
hardworking. They are taxpayers. I know those people think they don't pay taxes. They pay. If you talk to any of the local tax collectors in the rural towns, they're some of the quickest paying people with their taxes, and they pay in cash too. So
I don't doubt it. Yep,
honorable,
very, very honorable.
Yep. Definitely.
Well, Sheriff Mayfield, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Happy birthday again, my friend.
Thank you.
All right.
And Mello, thank you so much. We're coming up on the top of the hour, and unfortunately, we're coming to a time where the system is going to take over and cut us off, but I do want to thank you. You've done a wonderful job. Maybe we'll have you later on in the week again.
Just let me know if I can squeeze it into my schedule.
The very busy schedule. There was a lot we could have covered.
I have grandkids, you know.
That's right. That's the most important. And
Yes,
Sheriff, you know that too. So
just learning.
I've never seen you smile so much.
He's awesome.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome,
W295EI,
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
It could be a rough day at the stock market. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The opening bell could ring in a huge sell-off. Dow futures down well over 1,000 points on top of Friday's big losses that's triggered a worldwide sell-off. Japan's Nikkei plunged 12% overnight.
Behind all of this, fears of recession stoked by a poor employment report Friday, not expected, shocked investors. On top of that, large consumer product companies are reporting that folks out there, consumers, are weakening in their spending.
Fox Business Network's Jerry Willis. Hurricane Debbie is hitting Florida. The eye came ashore in the Big Bend area about 2 hours ago.
It has simmered down a little bit here in the past 15 minutes, but the past, I'd say, hour or so, we've had some of those heaviest whips from Debbie as it made landfall south of us.
Fox Weather's Robert Ray in Perry, Florida. There are more than 200,000 power outages, but the bigger concern is all the rain. With Debbie forecast to slow down, Governor Ron DeSantis just said,
"This storm has produced and will likely produce significant flooding events from Sarasota, Bradenton area all the way up to northern Florida."
We could have the same flooding problems in Georgia and South Carolina. Some areas could get 2 feet of rain. Vice President Harris is on the verge of picking her running mates.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, and Arizona Senator Mark Kelly met with Vice President Harris in Washington over the weekend. Whoever the vice president picks, the two are expected to appear together at a rally in Philadelphia tomorrow before embarking on a nationwide battleground state blitz.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on the Republican side. Trump running mate J.D. Vance tells Fox,
"I don't really care who she chooses as a running mate. It's not going to be good for the country."
An Olympic update. U.S. gymnast Simone Biles, who's won 3 golds in Paris, did not medal today on the balance beam, finishing 5th after a fall. America's listening to Fox News.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Jerry Padgett, the second enlisted in the U.S. Navy and deployed multiple times to Iraq and Afghanistan until Jerry was catastrophically injured in an improvised explosive device blast. Now, Jerry received a new smart home thanks to our friends at the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Now, the home is in the foundation's Let Us Do Good Village. It's in Florida, and Jerry now lives more independently thanks to the specially adaptive technologies. Commit to $11 a month, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM, News Time 9:03. I'm Andrew Domenio. This update brought to you by the leader in service, Clinton Tractor on Meadow Street in Clinton. Visit them online at clintontractor.net. A West Winfield man is dead and his wife is in critical condition after being hit by a falling tree while leaving an Airbnb in Wyoming County. The Wyoming County Sheriff's Office says they started receiving calls about a tree on a house with 2 people trapped just after 10 Friday morning in the town of Castile. The occupants, 77-year-old David Denham and 77-year-old Linda Denham, both of West Winfield, were rescued from the debris by firefighters. David was rushed to Wyoming County Hospital, where he died from his injuries. Linda was flown to Strong Memorial in Rochester with serious injuries. 2 teens were injured, one seriously after their buggy was struck by a pickup truck. New York State Police say just before 2 p.m. Friday, a pickup truck driven by 33-year-old Alexander Fendler of Constableville struck a buggy on Route 26 in Ava. A 14-year-old girl and 16-year-old boy were ejected from the buggy in the accident. The 16-year-old was transported to Upstate Medical Center with serious injuries, while the 14-year-old was transported to Wynn Hospital and later released. The driver of the truck was not injured. The accident remains under investigation. New York State Department of Environmental Conservation seeking public assistance in reporting wild turkey sightings throughout August. The Summer Wild Turkey Sighting Survey helps monitor the turkey population and reproductive success by estimating the number of poults per hen. Participation is simple. Residents can fill out an online form with details about the sightings, including location and the number of turkeys observed. The survey has been aiding DEC's wildlife management efforts and predicting fall harvest potentials since 1996. And central New York will start Monday with some sunshine, but showers and thunderstorms expected, and some of the storms could produce heavy winds, rain, and hail. Your weather forecast, a chance of rain and thunderstorms today, otherwise sunny with a high in the mid to upper 70s. Chance of rain and thunderstorms overnight, cloudy with a low in the low 60s. Tomorrow, partly sunny with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Full 5-day forecast anytime at WIBX950.com. Brian Kilmeade next on WIBX.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
From the Fox News radio studios in Midtown Manhattan, giving you opinions and facts with a positive outlook. It's Brian Kilmeade.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. We have so much going on. It's almost overwhelming and very consequential. Ainsley Earhart's going to be joining me shortly. Kathy Lee Gifford at the bottom of the hour. She's got a brand new book out. Might be the most interesting person you could ever talk to at any moment in your life. And then we'll take your calls. I know you have a lot of opinions about what's going on. We know that any minute a vice presidential selection could be made. We also were tracking what's going on with this storm. It's slamming into the south. It's now touched land. Debbie has. It's slamming into the south. So hang on tight. So let's get to the big three.
Now, with the stories you need to know, it's Brian's Big Three.
Number 3. We've seen 4 consecutive months where the unemployment rate is creeping up. And you put that together with the earnings reports from Starbucks and McDonald's, and all of a sudden we started to worry that maybe consumers are under pressure. Then we get this generalized fear that the economy is slowing down, maybe headed into a recession. That caused stocks to sell off last week in the U.S.
Okay, you got it now? Where the stock market's down 1,000 points. Not good. The American economy beginning to shake, has bad jobs numbers, and a cratering stock market as world markets taking a beating. This is a top issue for most of this election, this election, and could derail Harris weeks before her convention.
Number 2.
The Iranian-backed Shia militias in Iraq and Syria prior to October the 7th had already fired at U.S. troops 125 times. We still do not hold Iran accountable, and it's a huge strategic mistake.
It's true. General Jack Keane, Middle East braces for a massive attack on Israel after they took out 3 high-ranking terrorists, 1 in Tehran, 1 in Lebanon, and 1 in Gaza. We stand by to help, but the administration spends most of their time showing weakness and criticizing Israel.
Number 1.
There's a lot of irrational exuberance on the side of on the Democratic side of the aisle right now because there was despair for some period of time about what November was going to look like. Now people feel like there's a chance. It is absolutely Trump's race to lose right now.
Yep, that is David Axelrod and Barack Obama saying the same thing. They're underdogs. They're underdogs. They're underdogs. It's a mindset. It gets people motivated. Don't fall for it. Campaign 2024, the polls tighten. Trump attacks and Harris hides. From the press, that is, who don't seem to care. Don't seem to care that she doesn't do any interviews. Well, we do. Plus, Harris VP pick is hours away. We'll look at it. And keep in mind, too, if Trump wasn't doing interviews, I'd be asking every day. I wanted an interview. I mean, if Mitt Romney wasn't giving interviews, I'd be asking every day. John McCain asking every day. It doesn't matter what party. What do you do for a living? I mean, if you want to give a softball interview, that's another thing. But if you want to, why is it okay for someone to run for president, not run through any primaries, not get one primary vote, get just anointed the the head of the party running it, vice president's running the party, and the administration, we're to believe. And then it's okay not to even know where she stands on anything. Then you get stories. She changed her stance on immigration. She's changed her stance on private health insurance. She changed her stance on offshore drilling. She's changed her stance on fracking. She changed her stance on Israel. Oh, excuse me? Really? Since when? On sanctuary cities, too. You're not even going to say it? You don't even put it in a speech, but you have people leak it to major organizations? Why is that okay? Here's more from Axelrod. Cut one.
There's a lot of irrational exuberance on the side of on the Democratic side of the aisle right now because there was despair for some period of time about what November was going to look like. Now people feel like there's a chance. It is absolutely Trump's race to lose right now. He is ahead, and he is ahead most of the battleground states. They're close. They could be won by either candidate.
Yeah, that is true. David Axelrod has been the voice of reason, kind of like the Karl Rove here. He'll come out and criticize Trump, even though you know he's a conservative. David Axelrod wants every Democrat to win, but he's hired to give analysis. Plus, he's posturing. There's no doubt about it. He's posturing because he has definite access. He didn't have access to Biden. He knew what was going on. But now this is like Obama light. It's David Plouffe is now part of their organization. So that means a lot. It turns out if Shapiro becomes the vice president, I did not realize how deep the relationship goes with Shapiro really being mentored by Barack Obama. I know he sounds exactly like Barack Obama, but now we find out he's being mentored. Then the relationship with Kamala Harris goes back 20 years. So this is really Obama 3, more than Biden was Obama 3. Here's Amy Walter. I thought this was pretty cool. You know, the Cook Political Report. She's one of the higher-ups there. I think she's actually running it now. So Ed O'Keefe filled in on Face the Nation. He's the one who asked the question. Cut 2.
The fundamentals of the race are still leaning in Trump's direction. Yeah. Remind the viewer why.
Yeah, and Anthony also highlighted this, too. She is new. And yet she's not new. She's new to a lot of voters. She's not defined very well in the minds of a lot of voters, but she is the incumbent. And the incumbent party right now has a lot of baggage, notably the frustration about the state of the economy, what we saw in the CBS poll, what we're seeing in other polling like the Wall Street Journal poll, where Donald Trump still has a sizable lead on who do you think would do a better job on the economy, who would do a better job on handling the border. On the question of who has better temperament to be president, Harris has a significant advantage there.
Right. That's fine. On the other things that really matter, we all know Donald Trump. On the things that matter in the performance, he grades out high. And the economy. So if you ask people, I got it right here. They asked people in the ABC poll in the battleground states, what's the most important? So it goes like this. In Michigan, they said 35% said the economy. Number 2 is immigration, 17. Now, let me ask you, have you seen a poll that showed Trump without a double-digit lead in both those areas? I have not. Abortion is third at 16%. In Minnesota, the economy, 33% said economy is most important. 16% said immigration is, and 15% said abortion. It's almost the same exact thing in Pennsylvania, only it's at 40%, 39%, and Wisconsin, 37%. So this is what they're talking about. It's the performance. And look at the foreign policy. I mean, the Middle East is on fire. Eastern Europe is on fire. Our enemies have united together in a way they weren't even united together in World War II. You know, Japan and Italy were not coordinating with Japan. Germany and Italy were not coordinating with Japan. They were axis of evil all fighting the West, but they weren't coordinating. These North Korea, Russia, Iran, and China will be together. They're coordinating doing military exercises. That's under this guy. So please don't tell me foreign policy is better. This is so obvious Trump's to lose, and his ratings have never been better. However, over the weekend, coming out, going after Brian Kemp is dumb. Now, Kemp is doing a bad thing, too. I think that he's a respected governor, but he's not using his ground game to help out in Georgia. The former president's still winning in Georgia, but why are you doing that? Now, for Trump, he should keep his powder dry and let it leak out that he's upset, not use time. Now, I watched the whole Trump address, the whole rally, because I was live Saturday night, 9 o'clock on One Nation, and I wanted to be able to recap it coherently. Now, Trump for 3 quarters was perfect. He was Trump. Packed place, crowd chanting his name. They're all pumped up. They had a lot of people. I don't know. It was real good. But when he went after Kemp, when talked about the last election, it's a total waste of time. It's a dry hole. And when it comes to Kamala Harris, no reason to bring up our IQ. Whatever you think our IQ is, I don't care. Doesn't matter. So I don't get it. I mean, it is really his to lose, and I just hope they stay a little bit more active. For some reason, I don't have any events for them. You know, looking at the campaign, Tuesday, Harris will be in Pennsylvania. It makes me think Governor Shapiro's the pick. On Wednesday, Harris will be in Wisconsin and Michigan. On Thursday, Harris will be in Michigan, North Carolina, and Georgia. On Friday, Harris will be in Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. On Saturday, Harris will be in Nevada and California. At which time, somebody's got to ask her a question. But right now, I don't have any events for Trump until Friday. They could get something together quick. I'd like to see it. You can't lose a week. No, you can't lose a week. Then they got the DNC week. You can't lose a week, in my view. And so far, let me just give you an idea. CBS did a poll. Nationally, 50-49 Harris. On the battleground states, it's 50-50. 538 did a poll. Has Harris up 4 in Wisconsin. Has Harris up 1.8 in Michigan. In Pennsylvania, 0.5. Arizona's Trump by 2. Even in Nevada. Georgia, Trump by 1. North Carolina, Trump by 3. It's going to be a battle, but could easily go Trump's direction. Leadership, strength, economy, foreign policy, all immigration, all his direction. What do you think? Ainsley's going to join us next. She talked to Usha Vance. Usha Vance, who is the wife of J.D. Vance, and did a great interview with that. Don't move, Brian Kilmeade Show. So glad you're here.
Hear the ins and outs of the 2024 election right here. The Brian Kilmeade Show.
WIBX.
So it gets me really excited to talk about G-Defy shoes. You know, they were able to send me the manufacturer what the G-Defy shoes were about before I started doing this spot, and they are just fantastic. You will feel the support through anything that you're doing this summer. G-Defy shoes, they have this thing called Verso shock technology. Unlike regular brands, G-Defy offers superior shock absorption and helping to provide relief from the foot, from knee, ankle, or any type of back discomfort you might have. I love mine, wear them all the time, got 2 separate colors, go with everything. Say goodbye to discomfort in your feet. Each pair includes 2 free supportive orthotics and a special lateral stabilizer to help improve your stride or your run. As a listener of this show, enjoy a summer offer. Get this down. Visit G-Defy right now, gdefy.com, and get $20 off your order of $100 or more with code BRIAN, B-R-I-A-N, GDEFY.com. And don't forget to use promo code BRIAN for $20 off orders of $100 or more. Experience ultimate summer comfort with G-Defy shoes. Visit gdefy.com today.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Endurance has paid hundreds of millions in claims. Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-293-3079. That's 800-293-3079. 800-293-3079.
I don't like onions. I'm doing paleo. Do they have gluten-free bagels? You can't juggle every food request for a work event, or can you? EasyCater is the all-in-one tech platform that makes it easy to get restaurant catering for work, with options for any group size, taste, dietary preference, or budget. EasyCater saves your favorite restaurants and orders, which makes reordering a snap. Need to modify an order? No problem. So when it comes to food for work, make it easy on yourself with EasyCater. Start your order at easycater.com.
For a lasting impression, trust the quality and craftsmanship of Humphrey Memorials. They're experienced in all facets of memorial design, sales of monuments and mausoleums, on-site cemetery lettering, cleaning and restoration, and specialty services like etched glassware, mirrors, and landscape products. Humphrey Memorials of Herkimer has been making a lasting impression in central New York since 1946. They also handle commercial construction projects as well, Find out more at humphrey-memorials.com or call 866-4471.
New York State's largest selection of Purple mattresses is at Mattress Express. Come in and try all 9 Purple mattresses. We pull up the website and give you the same price as online. No appointment necessary. All locations at mattressexpressny.com.
For eligible individuals, 18 and older only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Selects Premium Package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home. All done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better. You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge. Oh, you people are wonderful. Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee. I hear better than I ever thought possible. Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to JabraEnhance.com/radio. That's JABRA Enhance.com/radio. JabraEnhance.com/radio.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how happy and healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Introducing Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend, a premium freeze-dried raw dog food.
I have been feeding them Dr. Marty's freeze-dried raw formula for years. And this food is a big part of why their jaws are more flexible, their teeth are cleaner, and their coats shinier, and why they seem more youthful and playful.
And dog parents across the U.S. are loving it.
My dog Hazel is a 10-and-a-half-year-old golden retriever, and ever since I've been feeding her Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend food, she is like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
We're so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee. And for a limited time, save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of Cod Crispies. They're wild-caught, ultra-crunchy cod skin treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511 today. All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
From his mouth to your ears, it's Brian Kilmeade.
Well, I think everyone's doing really well. It's been such an adventure. You know, obviously this is like nothing we've done before. And everyone's just been really kind since we started this. There have been so many people volunteering to help us understand how to do everything. I can't thank people enough for that.
What has been the biggest adjustment? Life has changed a lot.
Yeah, the Secret Service is a big change. And I have to say, I mean, they've been amazing. They've really taught us an incredible amount over the last couple weeks about how to live with a security detail and all of that. But that certainly is a change. We have code names now. Our kids had a lot of fun with that.
There you go. And that is Usha Vance talking to Ainsley Earhart. What would be great is to be able to talk to Ainsley Earhart about her interview.
So, Brian, you can talk to me, who talked to Usha.
Is that okay?
And we can talk to the people and tell them what she's like.
We booked you. We managed to go through your people.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So
Very
what did
nice
you do?
of
You went to Cincinnati and you spoke to the could-be future second lady.
That's exactly right. And it's fascinating because we have this question will be saved for tomorrow, but we asked her what it's like. I mean, this is America. She has the American dream. Her parents immigrated here legally from India. She grew up in San Diego, and now she could be this possible second lady as an Indian American. And then Donald Trump is running against someone who is also an Indian American whose dad was from Jamaica. So that's the layout of America. And it's she just talked about the American dream and what this country has done for her and her family.
So sometimes you meet people with an Ivy League background and you go, oh, they must have been a legacy. But when you listen to her...
If it were Ainsley, who helped her get in?
Well, George W. Bush he always said, he goes, I represent hope for C students everywhere. Yeah. And he obviously went to 2 Ivy League schools. But you were impressed with her intellect,
Very impressed. She's never made a B in her life. And I said, is this true? I'm reading this about you. And she said, well, she was so humble. Maybe on a test here and there. I don't remember. But, for the letter grades at the end of the semester, yeah, I've made A's.
Right.
And then I said, who's smarter, you or JD? And she started laughing. She said, well, we're both smart in different ways.
Right. She would have probably said her before he was running in a second. And then you say that. But I listened to JD Vance on the Nelk Brothers, a very popular podcast. you realize how bright he is.
Yeah.
He could talk about society. He could talk about tech world. He talks about, obviously, marriage, life, poverty, success. He can go anywhere deep.
Right.
I think that he'll do better. He'll get rid of the controversy if he could just get out there and start fighting for Trump.
Yeah, he had a great interview with Maria on yesterday and Sunday Night Futures. And I was impressed with his answers. He thought right on the spot. She was asking him, a lot of people are saying that they want Trump to pick a different VP. And he aced that answer. Right. That was right out of the gate. She asked that question. And then she asked a few other questions and he answered them beautifully. So I think he is smart. I think he's great at this. It's always, you feel sorry for the spouse, though, in the interviews because you're like, how are they feeling? Are they nervous about this? They don't know what I'm going to ask them. And she did great.
So you asked the tough question that everyone's going to town with on the other networks about him making a statement about, a lot of this country is run, or the Democratic Party is run by women who don't want to have kids and just want to live with their cats. And people went to town on this. So you asked her about it, cut 26.
What do you say to the women who were offended or were hurt by that?
Well, I think I would say, first of all, that JD absolutely at the time and today would never, ever, ever want to say something to hurt someone who was trying to have a family, who really, was struggling with that. And he made that clear at the time, and he's made that clear today. And we have lots of friends who have been in that position. It is challenging and never, ever anything that anyone would want to mock or make fun of. And I also understand there are a lot of other reasons why people may choose not to have families, and many of those reasons are very good. I think what I would say is, let's try to look at the real conversation that he's trying to have.
So your thoughts about that question? She seemed to be ready for it. Did you think she might not have been ready for it?
You never know, because obviously I don't give my questions to them beforehand. But, I would hope that she would have been ready for that question. I mean, every article I read, we studied, our whole team got together and talked about what we thought was most important. Every article I read about her, every interview I watched about J.D. Vance or from J.D. Vance, that was the number one question last week. And that's what women all over America were talking about. So I would hope that she would have been prepared for that. Her answer, I thought was really graceful and elegant. And she said, it's really hard to be a parent in this society. And she said, and he fights for family because he grew up in such a hard, his background is so difficult. And he wrote Hillbilly Elegy. He grew up as a hillbilly and by a mom who did drugs. His grandmother helped raise him. If you watch the movie,
Glenn Close, didn't Glenn Close play?
Yes, Amy Adams played his mom. Yeah. And he grew up and I said, what was the word I said? How does he overcome his childhood? And she says, I don't think you ever overcome your childhood. You come to terms with your childhood. And he has learned a lot from his childhood. And those have been sources of strength for him as a husband, as a father. But she said basically what she brings into his life that she's most proud of is family. And family means so much to him. But when he was talking about the cat lady, he was talking about Democrats who might not understand Republicans who have families and how they're struggling, not only because of inflation, but the more kids you have, obviously, the more expensive it is. And we want to promote family. If you're able to have a family, if you want a family, it's sad when you hear your friends say, we would love to have more kids, but we can't afford it.
Like Jennifer Aniston came out and said, I did IVF a bunch of times, didn't work. And then all of a sudden, one of the most famous people in the country coming after you, it's a problem. But part two will have?
Part two will be tomorrow. And it's about her life, growing up, her history, how she fell in love with JD, his life, Hillbilly Elegy, and more about what it's like to be in the spotlight and advice that she's gotten.
One thing that stands out right now, when people come in to do interviews here, we never bring people in for the most part. Not only is Lexi here, she's actually sitting next to you. So Lexi, for you to come in here, the boldness that she's shown.
She is our amazing assistant.
Right.
And
she broke protocol.
Isn't it
Allison,
funny?
Did you allow this?
Ainsley invited her to sit down.
Right.
So
she sat down last time. Are you not okay with you want your assistant to sit in the hallway?
You're just shaking me off. Lexi also does our live streams in the morning.
The funny thing is, we all want Lexi around. We want not more cowbell. We need more Lexi, right?
And it's so
we
sad
love it
when you
she's
go on
around
interviews because you take her.
Sorry, and you miss her, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And when I say to her, "Hey, Alexa, I have a shoot coming up," she goes, "All right, I'll be here." And she just says, "I'll watch everything in back." And then it makes me reassured, at least my office will be safe.
I'll tell you why. I need her more than you because I need to prepare more in the mornings than you do. You're
girl
just
power.
a natural.
It's a girl power thing. Alexi, great to see you, despite what Ainsley says. It's always great. Congratulations on the interview. I look forward to part 2.
Thanks for promoting it.
All right, back in a moment.
WIBX.
Hi, this is Ray Durso of the Genesis Group. If you're interested in keeping up with events and news in the Mohawk Valley region, I have the show for you. It's called This Week in the Mohawk Valley, and it airs every Sunday on WIBX. Join us as we talk with area business leaders, elected officials, law enforcement, educators, and more. Don't miss This Week in the Mohawk Valley every Sunday at 8:30 on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center. We're the members of IBEW Local 43 and NECA Contractors. You don't just see our work, you live it. From the JMA Wireless Dome, hospitals, schools, and city buildings, the IBEW is part of the community.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a premium freeze-dried raw dog food designed to support your dog's health, happiness, and lifespan. Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of cod Krispies. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511.
Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee.
All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Here's your chance to win a 2024 Jeep Compass. Enter the Rome Capital Arts Complex car raffle. This is not a national promotion. It's a fundraiser for the Capital Arts Complex.
Buy your $50 car raffle tickets at the Capitol Theater box office. Visit RomeCapital.com for additional locations and details. Brought to you by Town Square Media, WKTV, and Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Rome.
Buy your raffle ticket today.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1904 $20 gold Liberty coins have been found. These gorgeous 1904p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1904 gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1904 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 120 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9819. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $75 value free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9819 now to secure your 1904p $20 gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-973-9819.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
News. I'm Chris Foster. Hurricane Debbie's made landfall in Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis.
This storm has produced and will likely produce significant flooding events from Sarasota, Bradenton area all the way up to northern Florida.
And the storm's expected to stall over Georgia and South Carolina next, with flooding from potentially record-breaking rain in the forecast. President Biden meets with his national security team today about an expected attack by Iran against Israel.
The Wall Street Journal reports that Iran told U.S. and Arab diplomats it didn't care if its counterstrike led to war. Now, Jordan's foreign minister was in Iran yesterday for a meeting, and President Biden is scheduled to speak with Jordanian King Abdullah II, but there's been very little public Iranian interaction with those trying to avert a crisis.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Haifa, Israel. America's listening to Fox News.
Your WIBX Weather Center forecast for today calling for mostly sunny skies with a chance of rain and thunderstorms, a high in the mid to upper 80s. Chance of rain and thunderstorms overnight cloudy with a low in the low 60s. Tomorrow partly sunny with a high in the mid to upper 70s. Full 5-day forecast anytime at WIBX950.com.
The latest election nonsense.
It's all just a big joke.
Taken seriously. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Show that's real. This is the Brian Kilmeade Show.
Hey, we are back. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. We're following a few stories, first of which is the market is off 1,100 plus points so far, and the Nikkei average over in Japan had its biggest drop since 1987. This is a little bit off the job numbers, a little bit off the lack of cutting of interest rates, which means people don't have confidence that inflation is going down. So we're watching all this because so much rides on the American economy, and then people get panicked and they react in group because this is one of the disadvantages of the electronic age. Without having that paper to run in and out, you could just do everything from your house. So we're keeping an eye on what's happening with the economy. Obviously, if they were running on Bidenomics for the longest time, this is the strongest economy in the world. I'm pretty sure they're gutting that speech right now. I'm talking about Harris, and I'm talking about Biden. They're also looking at the Middle East is on pins and needles because it looks like massive retaliations on order on Israel, who is not standing by, and we are standing by to help. A crazy time in the world, and what better time to bring in one of the most interesting people on the planet who has accomplished more in a third of her career than most